What's up?
What is
What's
up,
up?
ladies? What's up, people? What's up, mods? What's up, subscribers, honey? What is going on, viewers? We are back for what, our second episode of season 3 over here in 2022, honey. So we is back. So as you come into the video, please get some manners about yourself. Go ahead and hit that like button, okay? If you want to participate in the chat, go ahead and hit that subscription button as well, honey, okay? We are here on this lovely Thursday. How are you, ladies? How are you all?
Good.
I'm good.
Yes.
Good. It's all good. So good. So good. So good. That's what came to my head. This is so good.
I was trying to say good with a
Yeah.
slight W to make it different.
Wait.
Good.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Well, as you guys can see, we are minus one of our members, Ms. Jay Lee. Okay, please understand that Jay Lee has been under the weather. She addressed some things over on her Instagram as well as her YouTube channel. Okay, this girl has been sick for quite some time. She was even sick on her birthday. So if you guys would like to send some love over to Miss Jay Lee, you guys can do so. Here is her Cash App here. Okay, if you do not have Cash App, reach out to one of us or, Jay Lee herself, and we'll figure out an alternative way for you to, send something if you want to send a token of love over to Jay Lee. I will leave that up for a second for you guys to catch it. Okay, you're also able to go over to her Instagram as well as her YouTube channel, where you will also find the same information. So yeah, she is under the weather. So if y'all could do me a favor, y'all know how y'all like to put y'all Jaybirds over there in her chat. We're gonna need y'all to do it over here too. Go and drop them Blue Jays, the Jaybirds. Go and drop them down over here in the chat, sending your love over to Jay Lee. Okay, we miss you, girl, and we definitely hope that you'll be back with us very, very, very soon. Okay. Anything else you ladies wanted to say before we scoot on over and get into some things?
Yeah, hurry up and get better, bitch. It's too many. It's not enough shows in between the next show. Please hurry up.
No,
Please
we
and thank
ready.
you.
Okay.
Just patiently waiting.
Please hurry up. Please
Okay.
and thank you.
We need our
Please
force.
and
Right.
thank you. All right, y'all. So we're about to go ahead and switch over and get into some, TV talk. We about to switch it, change it, rearrange it. So we're gonna start off with our TV talk. So let's go ahead and get into that. All right. That need to be a little longer because I'll be over here just bopping. Like that's a good little, you know what I'm saying?
They need to keep the music
Okay, y'all.
playing.
So first,
they need to do something where
we might have to loop that.
yes.
Have to just loop it for a little longer because I like that one.
Me
Okay.
too.
So first off, we're gonna talk about Married at First Sight. So they're out in Boston, and we got some new couples. Okay, they're out in Boston, and it looks like it's gonna be a really interesting season so far, based on the clips. To me, I've even said based on like the color gradient that they've been using for the show overall, I'm like, this is gonna be, and we got some nutbags as couples in general, right? So I think the season's gonna be great. So we're gonna start off with the first step, okay? And we have Mark and Lindsay. I gotta hear y'all thoughts about this because if you ask me, I think Lindsay gonna be too much. I think he's gonna get annoyed with her very, very quickly. I kind of feel bad for Lindsay a little bit because the way she shows herself to him, you could tell she had a lot of trauma in her life, and she tries to mask it with always being happy and doing too much and stuff. So I don't know, maybe, she don't really know how to, I guess, deal with her emotions. Maybe she don't even really know herself for real, because he said he's looking forward to seeing her in a calmer setting. And I'm like, is she ever turned off? We shall see. What are y'all thoughts about Lindsay and Mark?
I think some people need a prescription of marijuana. And I think she's one of those people. It will probably balance her out so she can stop bouncing off the fucking walls. It's quite unfortunate that it's not going to work out because we're predicting it won't work out. It's unfortunate because I do feel like their personalities mesh. I do feel like he's a sweet guy, funny. She's sweet, she's funny, but she does too much. And I feel like if she were able to like not be so much and he had like all the patience of Job, I think it could work because I think they have complementing personalities and the whole situation with him not having a father, but having a mother, and her not having a great relationship with her mother, but having a great relationship with her father. And, you know, they can do that for each other. So it has high hopes. And that's why I'm sad that it's probably not going to work out. But, you know, we're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, high hopes on paper, because she is a lot, a lot. But on the after show, y'all, she was actually kind of chill from one of the previews I saw. Her hair was
I
different.
liked her. I told you I liked her because I watched her on the after show. I hadn't seen the episode. I saw the app. Yes, and she was very like, you know, congenial.
Yeah, she looked different too with the straight hair and the bump. But something about Lindsay, especially since she told us that she's been through things, is going to be easily triggered. Easily. I feel like Mark could tell her, hey, your shoe untied, and she going to be, I don't know. Something tells me she probably has a lot of insecurities with her mom, you know, leaving her, and also with her fiance, basically leaving her at the altar and canceling the wedding. So I think she still needs a lot of healing, but I don't think Mark is going to have the patience to heal her. She's going to have to fix some things before she finds a husband.
Definitely going to have to do that. Definitely going to have to do that. All right, y'all, let's move over to the next couple we have here, which is Michael and Jasmina. Now, I like them together. I'm really hoping they work, but something about Jasmina kind of come off a little bit like she might be a little bit of controlling, and maybe a person that like, no, it can't be your way, it has to be my way, it has to be like this. So I'm not too sure. Whereas with Michael, he seems to be calm and laid back in demeanor, and he also seemed like he might be a guy that really wants to please her for the most part. Earlier, I said that Michael was fine. I think Michael is very attractive, and Necey said, girl, no ma'am.
No, man. I said, at first I was like, Michael, who? I said, Jamie? No, not for me.
Bondy? I think he's you know, listen, his center of gravity is in the right place. I'll say that. Because this is the type of guy that if he has a good enough personality and his penis is big enough and he knows what to do with it, you'll get past most of the, you know, the things. You know, mainly the pointed, huge forehead thing. No offense, but there are just some things. Okay. And the pointed, big ass forehead thing is probably, you know, and you're kind of short. So it's giving kind of like, you know, lollipop guild low key. But at the same time, like I said, his center of gravity is in the right place. And usually that means kickstands. And, you know, if there's a kickstand, then girls will forgive it. You know?
I can see that. I think it's the head and the eyes too close. Okay, that's exactly what I feel like. Because I'm not about to break it down, okay?
But we can focus on the beard.
Rip this man up, okay?
The beautiful beard.
But even the beard to me feels a little bit. Y'all know the episode of Top Model where Tyra put that lace front beard on the man? His beard, something about it is like so evenly dense and cut that, like, I don't know, it just feels
kind of fake to me. You think his beard is too perfect?
Yes, it's too perfect. He does look a little bit funny, but not in an ugly way. Like, enough to pass, like Bondy said. As long as you
a cute, ugly nigga. Listen. Nobody needs a pretty man. Like, nobody's asking for that. You need to just have a good personality and, you know, a ding-a-lings. And I think that she'll be fine with it. Yeah.
I think she will. I don't think they're gonna get on the first night though. I don't think those two are gonna go down.
She's not. She put her hair scarf on. Y'all aren't fucking. But when they do, I think we'll know if it's good or not. And see, here's the tester. I feel like a lot of times the reason why some of these relationships don't work out is because the sex is bad. So I'm gonna wait for us to get to the next black couple. Let's go ahead and talk.
And that is actually next. We have Olajuwon and Katina. Listen, first of all, I just want to say, and it's no shade to anybody, but I hate her voice. It makes me think about Porsha's sister Lauren a little bit.
It's really like really low in the register.
You know, I like her
fry.
Voice. I like her voice.
It doesn't bother me.
Yes, shockingly I did. When I heard it, I was like, I like her voice.
Yeah, it was a bit irritating. It was giving deep deep voice Valley girl at the same time. You know, like I may died, but it was like deeper, and it was just like okay. But anyway, as far as them as a couple, I don't think this is gonna work at all. I'm not even gonna play. But I feel like he's gonna know how to work the bedroom. And when I finished watching the episode, I said, "Oh, she gonna hang in there for that toxic."
I don't think so.
Gonna be in there, she gonna hang in there.
Did you? So wait, did you see the preview to the rest of the season? If you saw the preview,
started going off on her.
Okay, so listen, I was telling Lyric while we were watching this that I really wanted for a woman to cheat for once. I wanted a woman to come on this show and be a dog ass bitch. Like it just to balance it out for how many times.
Girl.
Okay, exactly. I want a bitch to come on here and be a city girl. And the previews made me feel like that's what we gonna get with her, because he was questioning her about something she had on her phone, saying that she just left. And it makes me feel like she fucked him. The sex was trash. And then she decided to get back in her phone with her go-to dick until the process was over. So remember when you saw that stain on his underwear? You have to put the stain on the underwear, goofy ass nigga. Like you have to put all of those things together, and usually those things equal bad sex.
And he was giving man child with the dookie draws. He was giving man child, but I'm like, yes, I don't understand how a grown man, okay, if you got them nasty boxers that you want to keep, them your favorite pair that fit you real nice, but they dirty as hell, why would you wear them on your wedding night?
First of all, that's not even allowed. You can say you don't have no woman. When I tell y'all, Lyric don't have a chance to hold on to anything because Lyric doesn't often do his own laundry. He does sometimes, but not all the time. He might wash his uniform, but as in all of the shit that he just throws in the dirty clothes, that's me. So if it looked like it's time to go, it's time to go. I don't let him hold on to anything. Like, oh, they got a hole in it? Trash. What do you mean? What? For what? For what? It lost its elasticity? Throw it away. Yeah. What are you keeping it for? You're not poor. Buy more underwear.
They make clothes for a reason. Yes.
So
I just want to say, never had that streaks issue. I washed my husband's underwear. Never once. Never, not once.
Don't know what
relates. So I wanted to
relate at all.
One thing that I picked up on, I feel bad for Katina in advance because I know at this moment she thinks that he's a clown. Like, oh, he's doing clown shit for me. Oh, he's so charming. He's going out his way to make me laugh, and he gonna laugh them panties off, and then you gonna find out it's whack. Because he was doing a lot with the dance. And then even when we met him in episode 1, he was like, oh yeah, I talked to a lot of girls. I've done a lot of that. You keep talking and trying to hypersexualize yourself. Something tells me it's not hitting like that. So I feel bad for her in advance because I know she's going to get tricked and then be like, damn, why did I do that? And then this man be the clown on your roster that just happened to be your husband for 8 weeks.
I bet you any money he gets by on the initial cuteness and light-skinnedness of it all. And then when they find out what it's really hitting for, they run.
I got to see how this is going to play out, because when you mentioned cheating, Bondy, it just makes me, I'm expecting him to be the dog ass person in a relationship. But the fact that she over here texting somebody else because she probably did hit and it wasn't him for nothing, I don't know. We're going to see who's going to be the part. Girl, this is, y'all tune in to Married at First Sight, honey. Let's get to the next couple here.
It's getting good. It's getting good.
It is already. All right, so let's get to Steve and Noi. Every time they come on, I never really capture any notes about them for real. I think they may actually, I think they're really compatible. I think they got a lot of stuff in common. Bondy over there like, girl, no ma'am. But that's what I'm thinking. I have like no notes for them for real. So what are y'all thoughts about Steve and Noi? I think they'll be good.
One main note. He is acting like he is more attracted to her than he is. Yeah. And I think that the brother recognizes that even though she is very beautiful, there are some things that are not looking well on camera. Somebody just said it in the comments. And it's no disrespect, y'all. I can't stand having skin issues myself. I have acne problems, but it is very noticeable. And something makes me feel like it is an issue for her because when the brother was having that conversation with him about if you're not going to chase her, somebody else will, that was in case you're trying to not be attracted to her because of that the situation. Because I don't know what it is. But whatever the situation is, it's just giving the opposite of smooth. And I'm going to just leave it at that.
Yeah, that's why it bothered me so much that last episode when she was crying, her friends and her sister just allowed her to cry all that makeup off her face, and they never reapplied it. I was like, why would y'all do that? Knowing that she probably needed or probably wanted an even complexion for her wedding day, and y'all making her cry all her makeup off. But the only note you missed with these two, Jami, is that Steve told Noy that he was unemployed. So I call him unemployment on my channel. Unemployed. And she wasn't tripping about it. She wasn't tripping about it at all. I think he explained it in a really good way, saying that he's just been on the road. But what I do want to know is
that's what clear people do. You know, clear people that have the money take months off at a time and you know, backtrack through the country and just kind of go different places and feel different vibes.
Right, he probably has the money to do it. Yeah, free spirit. He got the money to do it, and I'm sure he probably had good severance or something like that. But who knows?
Probably so. That's what I'm thinking, a good severance. But okay.
But will he get a job, or will he depend on her? Because she was given, he can play if he wants to. But I ain't that girl. She was given, I may be a lot of things, but I ain't that girl. Okay, child, listen, y'all gonna learn that most of the time it be Black women and white women with bad self-esteem that allow for these men to play in their pockets. Just saying.
And there's that. Let's get to Chris and Alyssa. Listen. That, I'm sorry, that whole wedding was a kiki for me. I mean, because when they was reading the vows and they said, whatever she's feeling, she shows on her face, and her face was not showing that she was into him, I hollered, and they purposely kept putting the camera on him.
They kept doing the slow-mos of his teeth.
That is so fucked up.
And from this angle.
Yes.
From not even from up here, because from up here is not as bad, but from down this angle, I was like, y'all disrespectful.
And another thing, I didn't even see the episode before I saw the tweet from the pastor who married them, who said that, you know, he thought it was going to work, but he would just like to say to Alyssa that teeth can be fixed, but a nasty personality or whatever cannot be fixed. You know, a cold heart. That's what he said. And I would like to say you are absolutely right. And this is what I want to say about her. This is why I think she's stupid. This is good bones. This is, we can get new teeth. We can get in a gym. And he can be exactly what you want him to be because he has a nice face and he's soft around the eyes. All it would take is for him to get his teeth cleaned, bleached, get some braces, and get him in a gym, bitch. And there, you created the man that you want, who's smart and probably already in a tax bracket that you need him to be in. But you think you're going to get a Ken doll in 2022. I would like for you to know that Ken dolls in 2022 probably don't make the money that he makes. Just so you're clear. Just so you're clear. But
and she may not even be his type. The dudes that she wants.
Cause she's and she's cute. She's cute, but she's like, I'm gonna be real. He thinks that she's a 10. In real life, she's about a 6. And that's
I was gonna say a 5.
That's what I thought of first, but I'm being generous. And that's no disrespect. That's just that's only if we're measuring y'all. We are women and we are not male identified. We don't actually value women by their looks, but this lady treated that man like dog shit. So we would just like for her to understand where the truth truly lies in this situation when you want to act like somebody is beneath you because they need a little bit of dental work.
Literally, this is the new season's Haley and Jacob. And I called this before they even met. I knew how she was going to be because she reminded me so much of Haley. Her reasoning for getting married just very much screamed caring, traditional wife, where I feel like it's ingrained in Black women are not like this because of systemic issues, but I'm speaking about white people. So you can tell at some point it's ingrained in them to believe that If you're a little bit cute, if you're 30 years old and you have a job, you have every right to be a wife. And I feel like that's where she is. One thing I caught from her was that in her special, she said that she was the only one out of her friends who wasn't married, and she wanted to hurry up and get married. But then when it came to the wedding, her bridesmaid was like, none of us are married. How are you feeling? So it very much screamed desperate to me that you lied just to get on the show by saying you were the only one that wasn't married, and then your friend outs you on your wedding day, letting everybody know that you're the first one to get married. I don't know. This something about this woman ain't right. She thinks it's a fine husband. Liam, Brad Pitt is her birthright. I think that's what she thinks. But they gotta get chose too.
I felt so bad for Chris, y'all, when she came out that room after arguing with, not really arguing, but crying to the producers. She came out the room from crying with the producers to tell him, like, it was something she wanted to say, but she didn't even come out and verbalize it. She just said, we need to go to sleep. He looked so disappointed. You could tell he was on such a high, and then he just hit the ground. And I felt so bad for him because I think he automatically went to, I don't think she's as attracted to me as I thought she would be. And I felt like her mama was lying to him when she said, yeah, she said she likes you, and everybody else is like, yeah, she likes you. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, it was terrible. Honestly, it was extremely sad to watch her come out. And I'm gonna tell you, this is the thing. Like, I get it. Like, at the end of the day, he was so sweet to her. For her to turn around and act like what the homeboys told her about him being a know-it-all and all of that.
Right.
How dare you use that against him when he had never exhibited that behavior to you? You use that as a way to make him out to be the bad guy because you couldn't just simply say, I'm not attracted to him and I feel like I can't sleep in a bed with him because I'm repulsed. Which is what you should have, that's what you should have said. Because if you weren't repulsed by him, then you would have been able to sleep in the bed with him and just keep your distance. And that would have been fine. And then also a lot of people were warning him ahead of time that she wasn't going to be affectionate, that she wasn't going to really like be into him at first. And they were going to have to take it slow, which means she had already told everybody at the wedding that she wasn't feeling him as soon as she saw him. And I just kind of feel like it was the way she reacted. They were in the hotel room, but I'm sure he would have been fine sleeping on top of the covers. He probably would have been okay with sleeping in another hotel room as long as she explained to him how she was feeling in a way that wasn't trying to blame him. I was like, girl, how you gonna blame the man and make him feel like shit?
It was ugly.
That was messed up. Who they gonna be in for a long journey this season? Fooling with her. I feel like if it's somebody else, I'm wondering, when I think about who may mess around in the cast, if that was the case, I feel like Alyssa's gonna find somebody. I feel like she might try and get some Elijah one, but we just gonna see how that's gonna play out, okay? We'll see, because they the only two that really strike me as somebody that probably would step out and do something, but you just never know. We'll see. But let's go ahead and switch gears and talk about our new favorite show, Ladies Who List. Let's talk about it because I am loving it. It comes on Fridays over there on the OWN channel, and I have some quick little notes that I want us to talk about. So first things first, right? It's a new show, like I said. It's about 6 different women. We have Robin, Kiana, Crystal, Tiffany, Tiana, and I feel like it's one more, we have Kira. So Crystal and Robin, they seem to be having friendship woes. I'm wondering how long this has been going on and how long they've been existing, okay, with this friendship. Robin comes to Crystal with this big idea where she wants to start like a brokerage firm, right? But Crystal is quick to remind her, you don't play well with other women. So are you sure that's something that you really want to do? Right? Then when they get into a debate back and forth regarding what Crystal said, Crystal leads with the term triggered. You're triggered. Oh, you're triggered. Later on in this episode, and this is episode 1, we could see where the ladies end up having a conversation at the park. And it seemed like Crystal kind of disregarded Robin's feelings and how she was feeling about the whole situation. She was laughing in her face and continuing to tell this woman that she was triggered. Now, if you ask me, nothing got resolved when these ladies linked up. Crystal, I don't know what your issue is with Robin. I just feel like if somebody got some stuff going on, you don't tell them over and over that they're triggered. It's like you're trying to trigger them at that point when you continue to say those things. And then it was something else that I wanted to say that I cannot think of. It was something else about Crystal and Robin. I just don't think they're real friends. Oh, I think that Crystal keeps Robin around because it makes her feel like this. And even though Robin is successful in other areas, Crystal sees Robin as down low to her, whereas she's up high. It's something about it, and I don't
It's
like
a
it. What are
catch
your thoughts?
22. It's a catch 22. She gets to use her and her business acumen because you can tell that Robin is really good with her clients. So Robin is good with her clients, which means she's gonna constantly. I saw her. Hey Jay Lee, we're happy
Hey,
to see you in the
Jaylee.
comments. We were waiting to
Our
see you.
face lit
B.
up.
Okay, listen. Hey friend, we miss you. But yeah, so I feel like it's a catch 20. It's not a catch 22. She gets the fuck over her double. You get to get business from her, and then you get to be made to feel better than her or superior to her whenever she acts out. And it's not cute. Crystal think that she cute. She not cute. Like, we see you for your works is what I'm saying. I think she thought that everybody was gonna perceive it like, oh my God, Robin's doing the most. And then most of the people watching this show who I watch reviews for all clocked what Crystal was doing.
Oh, yes. For me, they use triggers so much on this show. I was triggered my damn self watching this show. It made me do a whole little story time. But whatever, I've been in a situation similar to Crystal and Robin. So that's why I was so easily taking Robin's side. Because I thought that it was cool that she acknowledged what her traumas were. She knew what the issues were. So I'm like, okay, she's aware. But to me, Crystal just something is very fake. She's not as much forthright about her, I guess, negative traits. So it was real ugly to me that she tried to hold it against Robin, especially in front of the other women. It's almost like she set it up for failure because the way she even presented it to Kiana was like, so let me tell you about this idea. And yeah, she literally kept dousing gas on the fire in that meeting. I was clocking every single second of it. And I'm just like, But now it's making me wonder if I'm going to like Kiana, because Kiana seems to be really cool with Crystal.
Yep. And I want to like her too. Real quick, I want to read this comment. Robin should have met with these women one-on-one because she did herself no favors by having this meetup. I agree. I think Robin should have went off, and especially when we got to see how Crystal played it when she talked to Kiana. It sounds like she don't even really believe in the idea that Robin brought along, but trying to play it up like she do, but then go over here and try and down talk. I see her for her words. So let's talk about Kiana, since we're talking about her. And I do like her, gorgeous woman and everything. Right. But Kiana has an issue with Robin because she needed Robin to list her properties for her. And she was in the middle of trying to get her own office. So when she went to Robin and asked her, hey, can you list these properties for me? Robin said, yeah, bro, I can for $500 a pop. And she had 26 listings, I believe, which would have came out to like $13,000. Now, some of the real estate people said that they charge way more than that just to hold your listings. So I felt like she was, number one, probably giving you a discount. Number two, if she would have held your listings and they would have sold, what money would she have made off of that? So that's messed up as you to come to her as a friend and just expect her to hold your stuff for free. And then the other thing was, did you have this conversation with her about her holding your stuff for free? Because that's what we haven't gotten to. Like, that's still not clear about the conversation between the both of them.
Also, I want to know, so did your business completely go down the shitter when you couldn't hold all those contracts? Because I just kind of feel like, okay, you couldn't hold the contracts. So that means that you needed to finish out those contracts with the company you were with. And then before you started anything else, then you do everything you need to do to start your own business. Why was your business banking on Robin taking over your contracts for free? And as many people have said, she would have been legally responsible if anything had happened. So why would you expect her to do it for free? I don't understand. And then a lot of people said they Googled it and it's between like 200 and like 1,500, which you can charge. And that a lot of those white brokerage firms charge way more than $500. So it's like you were probably getting some type of discount in the first place. And she probably also didn't, when Robin explained her mindset during the time, it made me feel like Robin really didn't want to deal with it and didn't really want to do it. So she gave her a price that she knew she probably wouldn't want to deal with, and then never really got back to her because mentally she wasn't in a space to deal with it. I can tell y'all right now, I ignore shit all the time that I don't have the bandwidth for. I'm sorry. I can't give you everything all the time.
So, at first, I thought that Robin might have been tripping in episode 1. The reason why was because Robin just kept talking about how she's business, business, business. And I really did think maybe she was trying to be greedy because, again, we were in a pandemic, still are, like she said. But the reason why I kind of started siding with what everybody was saying, which was that $500 really is average, is because when Kiana was sitting down with her husband first says, I thought she would have done it off the faith of our friendship. And then he says, but I get it, it's business. Then again, he says, I thought she would have done it off the faith of our friendship. So just by her husband even rationalizing that it's just business, that to me tells me that it probably wasn't anything that insane. And she's probably just mad that she didn't do it for free. So we'll see.
Exactly. Let's talk about the link up when the ladies get together. Kiana comes to the dinner. She's so focused on whatever Robin says doesn't matter because she's not going along with it. It sounds like even if Robin apologized, she would not have cared because she was so fixated on being mad. Right? It's one of those things where if a person get on your nerves, it don't matter what they do, you ain't gonna like them, right? This is what was interesting for me. She was telling Robin that she had an issue with her, but was not clear on what the hell the issue was. So I feel like Robin still was not sure about what was happening. So that happened, as well as Kira. So after, first of all, Tiffany jumped into the conversation and understood where Robin's mentality was coming from and suggested that Kiana and Robin have this solo conversation. Now you got Kiana saying, oh, I can do that. We can have, I'm like, you should have came there with that. Somebody had to tell you for you to be like, oh, I respect you enough to have a side conversation. No, you don't. And you didn't. Then we have Kira. After she saw Kiana get on Robin's case, Kira felt that it would be so amazing for her to pounce on Robin at the same time because I think she thought she had a friend. And so she tells Robin that she didn't like the fact, Robin and Crystal now, that she didn't like the fact that this woman unfollowed her on Instagram. We never got to hear Crystal's lies. But Robin and Kira ended up going back and forth because, Kira said Robin was old. Then Robin started to get what? It's just a little bit. I feel like Kira, girl, I just felt like the unfollow thing on Instagram just wasn't that serious. It wasn't that deep. And for you to try to make it seem like the woman didn't like you, she invited you in on a business opportunity. She didn't have to do that. That's why she said you're sitting here. So I'm not seeing it for Kira. And I said in my other review that Kira is giving me Alexis for some reason of selling Tampa. Is she coming off with that same energy? Maybe
I wouldn't even give Alexis this much because I wouldn't even give Alexis this much because when old girl popped off and was like, because I can shit on you, and then turned her head like she had done something, I was like, homegirl is doing way too much. It was giving really, really, like, I don't even know how I know how you've been able to be this successful, even though you seem to be extremely immature. Because once the lady said she didn't have a problem with you, what else are we talking about? Now you just want to have a problem, as far as I'm concerned. And then the old comment, like, first of all, bitch, you offended. It wasn't just Robin that you offended when you said that shit, but everybody else just let it slide because Robin was the one that got you together. But Kiana and some of the other ladies was just like, oh, I guess we old. And even Crystal was saying, oh, bitch, well, I guess we old. And so why you sitting up there now acting like you cool with Miss Girl when you probably was the first one to unfollow her? So I felt like Crystal was fake. I felt like Kira was a teeny bopper that wanted to make a moment happen when at the end of the day, you wish you're going to look as good as Robin when you get to her age. Go to hell.
Period.
I agree.
Thank you so much, Barika.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barika, for the super chat. Love the panel. Prayers, praying J. Lee's the swift and complete healing. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Go ahead, Necey.
So what got me was if you're the newcomer of the group and you're getting invited to this business venture meeting, why would you mess up your money and the potential and the credentials that they've built over an Instagram follow. Like, you just need to get in where you fit in. You barely made the invite. I feel like Kira was one of those girls where you could have replaced her with any millennial real estate agent, because they all posting pictures in swimsuits on the internet. So Kira, I'm like, you barely made the cut and you already here trying to make mess up a check. The other thing that I felt happened was that this whole thing about unfollowing, Kira says that Robin messaged her and would say, "Oh, you cute." Well, she claimed Robin was being a fan. So I bet since they didn't really know each other like that, Robin was probably just sending hard eyes and stuff like that to network. And what I'm assuming is Kira probably thought she was hot shit one too many times. And Robin was like, "Girl, I ain't no fan. I'm about to unfollow you." And that's probably what happened. And now Kira is trying to pick a fight over nothing. Because if I respond to your story and you ain't nobody like that, like if we know the same groups of people, no, I'm not about to be a fan. Eventually, I'm just like, what am I following you for if we're not communicating with each other?
Right.
Yeah, interacting.
Like, bitch, at least like my comment when I comment on your shit. And then when you see my post, occasionally comment on my shit, just so we know we on the same page.
Right. That's networking.
Yes.
Right.
Hilarious. All right, y'all. That pretty much wraps up our talk about Ladies Who List Atlanta. Be sure to go and check it out, okay? So you can follow along when we talk about it, okay? So check out all of our reviews after you go and watch it, period, all right? Now let's go ahead and get into Ready to Have a Shit Show.
A mess. A mess.
Let's get into Ready
Real
to Have
thrifty.
a Mess. Yes, Ready to Have a Shit Show. Let's talk about it, okay? I'm just going to cut into
Real
some
thrifty
things.
looking
Camille
bitches.
and Cornelius, right. They trying to really convince us that they together.
Girl, not him looking like Aladdin.
Okay.
Not him looking like Genie in the lamp did. Girl, I was like, where did you get all of this satin from? And why did he have a grill in? What church do they do that at?
I'm so glad you said that, because I meant to talk about the fashions first, because I feel like nobody served. I feel like it was nobody in the possible, and I feel like the possible was Sydney. I feel like Sydney probably looked the best out of everybody.
You and I are in the same place. Mm-hmm.
I was like, what is this makeup? Why is it too tall? And then the sad part was that I said, first of all, you already know Sydney didn't even get her makeup done by y'all. She couldn't have, because everybody had the same thing going on.
Sydney was the only one that was the same color. Like her face was the same color as her titties. It was a little red. And her wig was good. I was like, what is everybody else going through? What is everybody else going through? Sabrina did look pretty for her traditional bohemian, and we glad she ain't wear no thrifty looking wig. So she was cute with her slick down and her little, big ass jewelry on her neck, and she was cute. And I feel like Camille looked pretty. I don't know if I liked her hair as much, but I think she looked together. Like, it wasn't bad. It was good leave out, good foundation, and the color on her skin that she was wearing was good, but she was sitting next to that fool. So that was all I saw.
I like her. Yeah, I think yellow on dark tones is so pretty to me. But I ain't like her dress.
I didn't see her dress. I couldn't tell with the color. I couldn't tell what she was wearing. It was a lot of them that I couldn't tell exactly what the dress. Like,
what they had on.
You mean? I was like, what is this? What is it? Is giving Legally Blonde Morticia Adams. I don't know what the fuck is going on with You Mean's outfit. I was like, is it a dress? Is it a cape? Is it a jacket? What is it? I don't know.
You Mean stole her outfit from the church choir. I couldn't. I did not like that. Yeah, Camille, she looked all right, but I said the same thing. Cornelius looked like Aladdin, and I definitely was analyzing how he refused to take his hand off her booty, trying to seem overly masculine, and it's
giving gay.
Aisha was looking like Tiffany, Bride of Chucky. That wig was not it, especially with everything was a no. Thoroughly disappointed.
It was like a last minute show.
The Bride of Chucky.
I
literally just finished watching Chucky the show, so like that shit is fresh in my mind. And you ain't never like
she looked like that in the blonde wig. Bruh. I was like,
hilarious. Oh my. Okay, y'all. So Cornelia says that as much as he was up there looking a fool, he says that he was pursuing Camille the same way Camille was pursuing, as much as Camille was pursuing him. And it was the lies for me. I'm like, well, how did y'all sit down and come up with the lies that y'all was gonna tell America? Camille sitting up there denying the fact that she was possessive over him, and then also after hearing the audio, wanted to lie and say that she never said she was gonna F those ladies up. And the gag for me, y'all, was Cornelia sitting up there looking stupid, agreeing with her, saying, yeah, no, she ain't say that, she ain't say that. And then after he saw the footage, he couldn't say nothing. I was like, that's your girl, though. You gonna stick beside her.
In every clip, his eyes was like, he's trapped. And you don't, I'm not 100% sure if he like men and women, but regardless of that, you don't want Camille. You don't want Camille at all.
It's giving by. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna tell y'all the main thing that comes into my mind. And y'all listen, this is what I want people to understand. Socially, men, black men specifically, are groomed to not want to be gay, bisexual, even if they are. And when we start to see certain things about them and the way they move and we point it out, it doesn't mean that we think there's anything wrong with either one, but we do feel like they are showing us a fugazi, fake ass representative when the underlying situation is that you're truly not really interested. How are we supposed to assess these relationships and not be honest about the fact that this man did not show any chemistry or real interest in this woman the entire show, but now they're so-called engaged and dressing alike? It definitely comes off as somebody who is bisexual, who, and I'm sorry, I'm always going to go back to that picture on his wall, y'all. He was oiled up in a picture on his wall. Rainbow. I don't know any straight man like that would have a picture up of themselves greased up in that way. And it wasn't just one picture. It was a couple of pictures on the wall. It was a sequence of photos of him with no clothes on, oiled the fuck up. So when you add that to this Camille situation, to him obviously not wanting to be with a woman like Courtney, who was going to try to jump his bones too soon.
That's what
all
I
of
said
those
too.
things, all of those things came together to create the recipe for us to feel like he's lying about how he really, prefers things, because he doesn't want to, first of all, let his people down. Okay. And because he still wants to have children and have the family and live all of that, that fairy tale shit that everybody think is real. Yeah.
That's exactly why he didn't want Courtney, is what I said. Courtney was gonna make him lay the pin, and he didn't want to do that. He just wanted, and Camille, she would be okay with that. He didn't want to do this. He was running from Courtney. Like, he's the type of man that has to be chased, not that he wants to. The other thing I found odd was whenever he almost got sent home and he called Zadia sexy as hell. I was like, you don't have that type of energy. Why are you using that language? I feel like he was trying to convince us.
We hate to see it. I can't. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and talk about what else I wanted to talk about. Zadia. Why are we talking about Zadia? And this stupid smile she had on her face the whole time, trying to act unfazed, but it was giving I'm bothered. Zadia tried to downplay the Brown Girl Squad and why it was created, but y'all went on to go and create a social media page. And then when the host asked, can these other ladies be a part of it, she tried to deflect and say, oh, well, Sabrina just cussed me out. Why would I want to be her friend? And because you did not have an answer to combat what it is the ladies was bringing to the forefront, you decided to exit stage left. I can't, was I like, Zadia made me just cringe. I hated it. I don't want to see her on any more shows. I hope she never does TV again. I didn't like her. What are y'all thoughts?
Couldn't stand her.
Oh, and Naeem. We didn't even get to Naeem.
That's what I was about to say.
Speaking up for her.
Naeem is worse.
Talking about all the men liked her. Like, how they supposed to know? He was a clown.
I don't think he lied about that. And honestly, so I feel like a lot of the friction between the women probably started based on them liking the same people. I think it was probably just a little catty stuff like that. But people probably didn't expect Zadia to be as disrespectful as she was, especially with the click stuff with Camille. So I feel like what probably would have been normal catty chatter ended up turning into some mess. But yeah, one thing that Zadia literally had her clown mask on for was whenever Sabrina was talking and she got up from the stage and walked away, kind of like, oh, who she gonna talk to now? Like, oh, who y'all gonna talk? It was a flex to me. She thought that she had the pull to basically completely dead conversation. I'm like, girl, sit back down. Sit back down, please.
To me, I didn't like it because I feel like you were so confrontational during the season. So to me, if you're going to be about it, be about it. And when everybody comes at you with that shit, they come back at them with a response to this shit. Y'all had all of this time to think about what y'all wanted to say. You and Camille totally lied and acted like we didn't see what the fuck we saw, talking about you didn't say you was gonna kick. Girl, I was so mad they was actually arguing with her about that. I'm like, girl, it is on camera. We all saw it and heard it. People that was watching that night, people that caught the playback, people that was there in the room, all them and Naeem and them lying, talking about they didn't hear what she said. You're a lie. She repeated herself and said that she would fuck them up.
Right.
She said it more than once. And she told old boy when he was about to send her home that, oh, because she about to fuck him up too. Like at the end of the day, she has been threatening everybody to make sure that Cornelia stays there. She's been bullying everybody and everybody knows it. So y'all sitting up there acting like it's not happening is ridiculous. And Naeem, let me tell you something. I cannot stand a man that has nothing to really say ever in life. Don't have a real coin, a real jewel or opinion to give. No time, no other time. But when it was time for you to defend that booty, like that girl said, that's all you care about is that booty. So she did something. Zadia did something while y'all wasn't taping. For you now to be showing up in matching maroon outfits with fake ass Morticia Adams because her wig was slayed, was laying to the back. I can't stand when wigs be behind your shoulders and it stay like that, as if you purposefully want the hair to stay back over the no, but I need the hair to flow over the shoulder sometime. So I could throw it back. Like she wasn't giving no flow to that wig whatsoever. It was giving very much helmet like tease. And when you got up and walked away, there was no slink, there was no bounce, bitch. It was disappointing.
It was quick wig.
It was the only thing that was good about it was her ass. I'm like, but your body look good because that's all Naeem care about. But Naeem killed me because the way he was trying to argue with these women, the bitch assness of it, to call them jealous liars, even after we're playing everything on playback, and you still sitting up there calling these women jealous liars. Because all the men like Zadia on week 1. Why did we not talk about how Frank in the confessional and other men had vocalized that Zadia was doing entirely too fucking much? They had vocalized it. But once we got to the reunion, everybody's quiet.
Yep, I saw this TikTok last week. And it was super chat.
Yeah, I was just gonna say thanks so much for the super chat, Lisa. Hey, love the commentary, positive vibes. Thank you.
So I was on TikTok last week and I saw this girl drawing a picture. So it was like a circle over here. She was like, I can't stand a man that's always in women's business. You got ESPN, you got a job, you got the gym, but boom, here you go in women's business. I was like, this was Naeem. You work in tech, you got the gym, you got the barbershop in between ESPN, but boom, here you go talking about Zadia and these women wanted to make friends. I'm like, boy, if you don't,
can I say something? Bye. So I remember when we were talking about the Phil situation, which there's no reason to talk about that right now. Don't get me wrong. But somebody said that if we are going to expect Phil to not pick your girl up and bring her back to the car, then we shouldn't have expected any of the men to speak up when Naeem was going off on all the women. And I'm like, I cannot stand the way y'all do that. I cannot stand the way you put those two things together as if that's what that. No, he had other options in order to be a gentleman. He had other options. He didn't want to take those options, but he had other options. That was not his only recourse to make sure that she was safe. First the fuck all. Second of all, the men should have said something to Naeem's punk ass because they all had already said that shit when he was, when they were in their confessionals. So it seems, I don't care what nobody say, it's bitch assness to me for men to have a whole bunch of heat and a whole bunch of words for women. But when it comes to confrontation with men, they're on mute. And that's like what I don't like.
like the podcast dudes.
You're on mute when the men are in the room. You have nothing to say. But when you can go at a woman, you just take free reign to let off on them. And I think that's punk shit at the end of the day.
Yeah, he didn't say nothing else the entire season.
And more punk SHI would be Frank. After acting like he was so into Nguyen only for the situation to be over and he not give her anything, and then try to blame it on the fact that he been through a lot as though she never been through anything. And then let's also talk about Miss Ticia deciding to walk off calling this the ghetto. Girl, talking about my mom in the hospital, but you could have went to be with your mom. You weren't required. But let me finish, y'all. Let me go say, she wasn't required to be there. You talk about a contractual obligation as though this is a reoccurring opportunity for you, girl. This is a one-off. Just like Shiloh decided she didn't want to come because I think she didn't want to speak on the situation with Phil. You could have opted out as well. So, what do you all thought? I felt like Frank was whack as for that, and he was fake as hell.
His suit was too tight. First of all, I feel like we all could tell that Frank is the type of black man that's probably going to marry a white woman. I think a lot of us could feel that off of him when we first encountered him. But because he seemed to be on a show with black women, interested in black women, we were like, okay. But I think we all felt that from Frank, that he possibly, especially once we saw the white girl, we was like, there it is. Because a lot of times it's one or two things. Either you don't like women or you just don't like black women. And there's a teller in your personality somewhere that women, especially black women, pick up on. Okay. And I picked up on Frank, but we let it live. All for Frank to get here and do exactly what that lady did on Married at First Sight, which was in some way blame you mean. Did y'all hear when he was saying there were things about our interactions that didn't add up? And that's when she had to stop him because she was like, what interactions are you talking about? Because there was none. And at first I was like, oh, wait, what's going on? I didn't understand. But then when she started to explain, no, nothing happened after that day. After we chose each other, nothing else happened. He was making it seem like they were spending time together and the shit just wasn't adding up, like she was, you know, being the negative or being the pick-me or whatever people had thought she may have been negatively. I think by the way he was explaining it, he was hoping that people would think that Mean turned into a bitch on him. And that's the reason why they're not together. And she didn't let him do that. She clocked it and said, no. I didn't do anything. I wasn't too much of anything, nigga. You didn't even come and see about it in order for it to be too much.
I'm glad she clocked it. But what I couldn't stand, I knew I was in for some shit whenever she was sitting there and he said, go ahead, tell the story. Go ahead. You can tell everyone. Are we supposed to be grateful that you are giving her permission to tell everybody that she was an asshole? I'm like, you have such a Joanne scammer way of trying to charm yourself through situations. And it's like, I could see you lying through your pink lips. I cannot. So, yeah. But the other thing on the flip side, I do feel like Nguyen was a pick-me the entire time. And you definitely see what happens when people try to force relationships on the show. And that's why I was so happy when Sabrina made her decision. Because you see the women on the show, she tried to outrun Walter denying her. And she just wanted to end up with somebody who didn't even want her. And I could have told her that from jump. So I do agree with y'all. I think that Frank absolutely prefers white women, but because he is African, he probably feels a strong obligation to want to be attracted to black women. But that's not where his heart is taking him, in my opinion.
Hey T, what's up?
Hey T,
what's going on, boo? All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and switch on over, honey, and we're about to talk about, girl, everybody want to talk about this, growing up hip hop. Who would have thought growing up hip hop is going to be a hot topic for real? Okay, so we got to talk about a few things. Okay, first of all, right, because we didn't get to come to you guys on last week, but we got to talk about Sam in Egypt. So ain't nobody gonna talk about how he's molded her from where she was to where she is now. I cringe and I hate it. And I also want to talk about like the charges that she told the incident that happened that she told her stepmama. Number one, I felt like she was lying to that lady. And number two, I just hate how he got her looking. And in addition to how he has her looking, he got her doing everything but what it is she said she originally wanted to do. And I hate that her dad is who he is and he ain't saying nothing yet. I don't know if he's trying to put her in a space where it's like, okay, you're going to learn, but I got to let you make your own mistakes or what. But I'm like, okay, God, sir. Somebody gonna have to talk now. Somebody gonna have to say something because this right here for me is getting out of hand. What are y'all thoughts about Miss Egypt and this whole situation with Sam?
I ain't watched the show in weeks. I'm just here to talk about the fight.
Okay, well, I'll go first then. Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead and say that I absolutely noticed that Egypt is giving lesbian, and it's definitely reminding us of that one time that R. Kelly had turned that little teenage girl into a stud, and we didn't know whether she wanted to be a stud or whether he turned her into one because he wanted to, like, play around with girls who look like little boy. You know what I'm saying? So it was a way to itch two scratches. So scratch two itches, y'all know what I'm saying. So yeah, it's for Sam, especially when we think about how effeminate Sam is and people questioning his sexuality. It definitely feels like you are trying to make your girlfriend more, because you're not married yet, you're trying to make your girlfriend more physically masculine so she can be more attractive to you. It does seem that way. And that's a little problematic, just a tad bit, especially if that's not the aesthetic that the very feminine Egypt wants to give off. Now, that does not mean that having short hair means you're not feminine, obviously. But it's the cut. It's the cut, it's the shaping, it's the lining. It's all wrong.
Let me ask y'all a question. Last time I seen Egypt was whenever she was on that YouTube interview. So does she look any more masculine than she did then? Has she changed some more?
It's still giving mohawk and shaved on the sides.
I think she does look more masculine now. Yeah, I think it's more. But you said something, Bondy, about how he wants her to look a certain way to be attractive to him. I'm starting to wonder if he's trying to make her look this way so nobody else sees her as attractive. That's something else that's...
It may
be,
but I also feel like there's always a nigga that like a masculine looking bitch. Like, I'm gonna just tell y'all the truth. There's always a nigga that likes a masculine looking bitch. Stevie J, there are a whole bunch of them. Okay, so at the end of the day, there's always somebody. There's always somebody. Faith was a one-off.
Let me see what JB's about. She says Egypt is lying through her teeth and everyone knows it. She's a whole different person, and he is putting in a situation where no one will want her because she don't know who she is.
I think it's both.
Yeah,
I think it's both. Yeah. I think he likes to squint his eyes and think it's a dude. And I also think it's because he, wants to be able to control her, because obviously they're in a toxic, abusive relationship. Yep. And I was happy that Tretch is finally seeing that this is an issue. I'm mad that it took your daughter being in such a violent situation, with a gun and all of that type of shit. So, but I'm glad you woke up, nigga. Thank you. We appreciate it, because we've been saying this. We still don't understand why you mad at Brianna, because Brianna been telling you that he wasn't good for your daughter from the very beginning. Remember, you got into it with her at the party and shit because she was one of the main people that felt like Sam was on bullshit. I feel like you need to apologize to that lady for that, because y'all was acting real crazy because she wasn't cool with Sam's ass.
Right. Agreed. Terrible. Cree. Miss Cree decided that she was going to go and link up with the ladies, but then she couldn't even enjoy a good glass of wine before she started snapping off on Miss TT. She said that TT kind of messed up her reputation or something like that, affecting her businesses. What are y'all thoughts? I just feel like you could have hit her up a long time ago. Like, y'all didn't have to have that conversation at that moment. I did feel like Cree wasn't really trying to mess up the wedding or anything. I felt like she was becoming her new party planner. So she reached out and told Vanessa, the person that's closest to TT, so she could tell her that information, because she probably thought it would be messy of me to do that, and I'm your wedding planner. So let me try and probably just give you a soft blow. So I didn't think she was trying to do anything vindictive. But a lot of people felt like she was. I just felt like the conversation.
I didn't think she was being vindictive either. A lot of people also held Cree responsible for the story being sung, but I feel like that was Savannah more than Cree, to my recollection. When it came to, people having conversations, I also feel like a lot of times when people talk to Eric messy ass, I don't know why they haven't figured out how messy Eric is yet. But Eric is somebody that people go to so that they can gauge how to handle other people in the group. So it made me feel like when Cree went to Eric to talk to him about what happened, she did that because she wanted to gauge how to handle the situation, I feel like. Because I don't know whether she did that before or after she talked to Vanessa about it. But either way, I didn't think Cree was being messy. I also did feel like TT was doing too much in that scene when she started talking about, I could never have her plan my wedding now. Like, girl, be mad at the person you mad at, which is your boyfriend, your fiance, because this shit is out there in the first place. That's who you mad at. Okay, it felt like misplaced anger in that moment, and TT was firing off at everybody, and it did look bad for Cree's business, but a lot of people felt like, Cree played a part in that as well. But I don't really feel like that. However, I do feel like she was, during this scene, acting like something had happened right before they started filming. That's why we're going to try to talk to her. Okay, we're going to try to get her back on the line, y'all, so she can explain some things. Because to me, it absolutely felt like something happened before she came on set, because she came in hot. It was almost like, y'all didn't tell me this girl was going to be here. And y'all know I told y'all to let me know ahead of time if she was going to be there so that I can prepare myself. And here I come in thinking it's going to be friends and it's foe. So, and also Angela leaving the scene because there might be an interaction that wasn't positive. I'm tired of her. Please get off the fucking show if you can't be in conflict at all. Like, get off the show if you're too good to be involved in the conflict. I'm tired. And y'all don't want to hear this from us because y'all think we're saying it because we have interviewed Cree and we liked Cree. We're upset with Cree for some of the things that she did, but I also feel like as somebody that watches shows, it almost feels like, so Cree, did somebody sit you down and tell you this is the assignment?
Right.
Because it gave what it was supposed to give. On both of those episodes, there was an altercation, there was an issue, you know what I'm saying? So it was just kind of like, girl, did somebody tell you that in order for the franchise not to die, it needed to be more interesting? So y'all need to come with something. And Cree just decided that this season she was gonna come a little bit harder because she was just feeling that way. It's in there.
Yeah. Okay. Jay Lee had a different perspective. She says Cree was acting like she was looking for a storyline, and I never understood why Cree was upset with TT. I felt like Cree should have kept it pushing and not came in upset.
But see, that's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like somebody, it must have been like a preseason, bitch, be on one this season, please and thank you.
Definitely on one for sure as we talk about this pool party. Okay. So Sequoia is at a place where she's trying to move on from everything. I just didn't like how she kept asking everybody, what is it? Should I do? What should I do? I'm like, girl, if it's on your mind, then do it. Stop asking everybody. Savannah, disrespectful as to the cousin, very out of line and rude. Like,
nasty.
Horrible. So when Cree and Savannah go over there to have a conversation, Savannah says, watch this. Okay, watch this or something like that. And just start snapping off on Sequoia like it was okay. And Cree didn't say anything. She just sat there like it was okay. And then told this woman, Sequoia, that she can't get upset when Savannah brings up her son, when she brought her son up to begin with. And I'm like, that girl didn't bring up her son. She brought up her baby daddy. I feel like that's two different things. Okay. And at the end of the day, did you not see how rude your friend was coming off to this girl? This girl ain't even saying nothing to her. What kind of stuff is that? And then why is you going to bat for a person that's a pot stirrer? Why are you going to bat for a person that's starting out, you know what I'm saying? She wanted to get it popping. I felt like Eric's wife was being a little follower with the joking and the mimicking and all that stuff. I said, girl, calm down. What else? Cree tells Sequoia about her not getting mad, and that's when Sequoia tells her, well, girl, listen, you'll understand, if and when you have children. Oh, that set Cree off. But I felt like that was the same situation as you telling somebody else, oh, you can't get mad when she mentions your son because you brought your son up. But Cree, you weren't there.
Yes.
So now the roles reversed. You're getting upset with her and you're ready to fight because you brought up a conversation about children to Angela. And that's just not fair. And Sequoia wasn't there to hear that conversation. So she didn't mean to be vindictive. She had already said that she ain't have nothing against you, So I just felt like the ladies was out of line. It was more so Savannah for me. The way when they Cree got in her face and stuff, and Savannah ran over there, and I think she touched Sequoia or hit Sequoia or did something.
Yes.
I'm like, I can't with Savannah. She can go though. She can go.
She just felt real childish to me. The whole thing felt like, even the way they approached it, just felt real bully, high school type stuff. I don't know what's wrong with Savannah. To me, that it was lame. It was real lame. But I do feel like Creed probably was triggered. But just as Jamie said, you have to apply it both ways. If you feel like, it's okay for somebody to talk about her son or baby daddy or whatever, then you have to have the same restraint if somebody mentions something triggering to you about children. It just, I don't know. I watched that whole thing and had so many emotions because at first when she was like, I'm not going to hit her, I got 4 businesses, I was like, okay. Then all of a sudden they had to hold her back. I just felt bad for Sequoia, or Sequence, like they was calling her. The whole thing was childish.
Okay, so I'm going to just say this. Off rip, Savannah was giving Maury, okay, teenage edition. I don't give a shit what about my mom say, Maury. I don't care about what nobody say. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I don't care what nobody say because I'm going to beat their ass because I'm going to always beat their ass because that's what I do. Like, she was very much giving that. I'm like, girl, I don't know how old you are, but it's giving 17. It's giving angry and 17. It's giving I have issues and I'm 17. My brain is not fully formed and I'm angry. That's what it's giving. What's going on with the PPP loan? Never mind.
Right.
Stevie J, Daddy wasn't there, because we can tell. Cree was definitely triggered in that moment when she started to, you could see her revving up with Sequoia. And y'all, I'm sorry, I was totally on Sequoia's side. Bitch, say my son one more time and watch me break your teeth. And when Cree told her, you don't have a right to be upset, I said, sis, friend, girl, you're wrong. And honestly, this is one of them times when I feel like you tall bitches use y'all size to try to intimidate lil bitches like myself. You walked up on her real intimidating, like, because you said what Savannah said in your height, that it was supposed to mean something like better, like it was supposed to make more sense. Girl, go to hell. In all honesty, I wish Sequoia would have threw some water in your face and punched you. And that's no disrespect, because
I thought she was going to.
We like you, but as an adult, I'm gonna need for you never to step up to another woman like that and press your body on her like she was trying to fight you, because that lady wasn't trying to fight you, and you impressed your body on her like you was trying to let her know I'll beat your little ass. And you was wrong.
Over your friend.
Over a child who you should be able to recognize as fucking wilding. We don't understand, Creed, because we talk to you and we like you. So we don't understand how you don't see that Savannah is wilding all on the outside. Get her out of here. Get her out of here.
Agreed. I think that's it. I was going to say something else, but I think we can wrap up on growing up hip hop. And let's go ahead and switch gears, honey. And let's talk about Miss Porsha, who family is supposed to have been mattered. Okay. Let's talk about this. All right. Let's get into some things. So first things first, Miss Lundy. Lundy went to go have a link up with Porsha because she's feeling a way about them not being close. I didn't like this. I didn't understand this sit down, because I just felt like, Lundy, you've been hard the whole time and I've been enjoying the energy you've been bringing. Why did you come and sit down with this woman and it's giving, cousin, see me, I want you to see me, hang out with me, let's do it. And Porsha, why would you turn around and try to put all the weight on her because she wasn't around as a college student to be there for your abusive marriage? Like, why would you even use that as an example? Because again, in the words of Nene, let's not talk about what was, let's talk about what's now. See, she good enough for you to bring on your show, for you to have a yes person, but she not good enough for you to be close with. She's good enough to be your assistant, then turn Dennis's assistant, but she's not good enough for you to be close with. So why was you playing in this woman's face? And Lundy, why is you over there crying? And Porsha, why is you over here lying, talking about I'm not upset, but you just went off on the producers? So I didn't understand it. I cringed. I hated it. What are you all's thoughts about that scene?
The producer having to tell her that how her family feels matters.
Oh,
that's the name of the show, bitch. And the producer has to tell you that Londy's feelings in this moment matter, and that you needed to suck it the fuck up and go be there for your little cousin who showed up here kissing your ass like she said she wouldn't. She was kissing your ass because you were not owed an apology. You were not owed an apology. You should have been apologizing.
Not at all.
What? You knew that nobody should have been apologizing to you because you know you had acted an ass and felt the need that everybody just forget about it. This is the thing that made me mad about Porsha. Let me tell y'all. Porsha don't care about nobody's feelings but her own. And that is really fucked up, Porsha. Like, it is really fucked up because a lot of us tried to have your back, girl. We tried, but you know me, I'll let you go. I'll let you go, bitch. Drop. And that's what I'm gonna do right now, Porsha. I'm gonna let you go. But I'm also gonna tell y'all right now that does not mean. Here's the thing, Kenya.
Make it clear. Make it clear. Yep.
Y'all are always saying Kenya was right. Kenya was right. But I need for y'all to understand a lot of the times Kenya is very wrong when she's in conflict with other people because Kenya has fucking issues. So even though Porsha is an asshole and a liar and was able to use her beauty to pull the wool over everybody's eyes, for the most part, not everybody, a lot of y'all didn't give a fuck. Okay, we get it. But at the end of the day, I feel like Kenya was still a bitch a lot of the time.
Absolutely.
Porsha was not always wrong in every instance where they got into it. So when y'all pull that, Kenya been said that, it's like, yeah, okay, Porsha got daddy issues. Kenya got mommy issues. Like, stop acting like this absolves Kenya of all of the times that she was an asshole in order for us to dislike her in the first fucking place. Okay? Like, it sounds to me, the way y'all say it is, that means that Kenya was right in every instance when her and Porsha got into it. And I don't agree with that.
No, yeah, because I couldn't stand Kenya in the beginning. I could not stand her.
Well, she got mad about the USA
right about
thing?
some stuff, you know.
Right.
I think she was on to Miss Porsha and her fakeness about some stuff.
Oh,
As
yeah.
I'm sure, and Candy was too, though. You know,
Yeah.
like Candy was right. But I mean, I think she probably, you know, like you said, Porsha wasn't wrong in everything. But in some things, yeah, I think some of the Kenya fans definitely feel like vindicated, even a slight bit. Even
But you
slight.
know, the funniest thing to me is that I feel like Kenya fans always felt like it was Kenya or Porsha. And from what I see majority of the time, Porsha fans don't think that it's Porsha or Kenya. So that's why I feel like they have, maybe not all of them, but that's why a lot of them have this told you so energy about it. Porsha, her personality, trash AF, and I hate to see it. I hate to see it. Bonnie, was you gonna say something about Kenya?
Yeah.
Shit, I had it and then I lost it. But either way, y'all, I feel like with the thing with Kenya is that I think that, at the end of the day, like, they're on a reality show. So Kenya is a lot of the times not expected to get the real version of Porsha. It wasn't until we saw Porsha interact with her family and the people that she's supposed to be real with that we understand her personality is what it is. It is fake. That's exactly what it is. And it's a real deep thing with her. And that's what I was trying to get people to understand in my reviews. Not that I'm giving her a break, because I'm not. She's an asshole. And she takes accountability for nothing. But I want y'all to also understand that Porsha can't even deal with her shit. So it's not like she's in her mind really like trying to formulate it's really like, I just can't deal with that. So we're going to act like it didn't happen. She's telling herself that in her own mind as she's saying it to y'all. So understand that, yeah, Porsha is fucked up, but also understand that it's deeper than just like this surface level shit. Like it just like I feel like Kenya shit is deep. And that's why a lot of times I'll start the season off with Kenya, giving her a restart. I feel like I did that with Porsha. 2 seasons after the Candy thing happened, I started to re-warm up to Porsha. And then I started to get, to like her again until we got here, And also, I would like for y'all to stop acting like her fucking bolo was bad. Like, I mean, who wants to fuck strippers? But at the same time, girl, get that dick. You pay for it.
I like this comment from Nikki. Nikki said, we feel a way about Porsha because this isn't what we always saw. And that's the thing for me, right? I mean, I kind of started to see it like 2 seasons ago, but now we get to like, the show is centered around Porsha. It's not like you get to weave in and out of other storylines of people that's on the show. So now we kind of see her,
Hey,
so.
Patty. But do y'all see that comment about how both Kenya and Porsha both did the same thing, but everybody's acting like Kenya's so much better? Both lying about relationships because Kenya started off lying about her relationships, okay?
With the Walter
and then, and then they both rushed into relationships with assholes that weren't going to be faithful from what we heard about Mark and had babies for those men. It's just that Kenya got a marriage certificate out of the situation and Porsha did not. But Porsha got a whole bunch of nice bags and a man that was at least halfway decent to her versus Mark that was a complete asshole to to Kenya.
And
So
Kenya
at the end of the day,
a whole show about her travesty of a marriage. Yikes.
Yeah. So as far as Londi, Londi was giving pick me. And what I couldn't stand was that this girl was crying to the point to where she was shaking and couldn't even close her mouth. And I'm like, no. I call her the VIP of the show at the beginning and she wants to be chosen over Storm. But Porsha needs Londi there to make herself look good, good and wet. Why would you apologize to the girl who fired you with no notice and then on top of that stopped your living? She stopped your ability to make money by telling her fiance to fire you. But you sitting there apologizing to her.
Make it make sense.
And then instead of being deflected. Help me.
Make it make sense. Because it's not.
Speaking of Dennis, okay. Actually, Simon ended up confirming his divorce with Miss Fallon. Porsha goes to sit down with, hold on. No, I'm sorry, not Dennis, his dad. So sorry. That's why my notes messed up. Okay. So Dennis's father, Simon, let Porsha know about the divorce. And he also showed up to the Hosea Williams event on behalf of Porsha because Porsha could not be there. And when he stepped over to the event, he also stepped over his boundaries and decided to let Aunt Liz know that he has been telling Porsha that she is Hosea Williams' granddaughter. She don't need you to tell her something she's already known for many years. That's one. Number two, he tells Aunt Liz that they need to put respect on her name and her position in the family. Sir, your position isn't even secured for you to be coming over here telling Aunt Liz anything, sir. Okay, so I just really felt a way about that, especially knowing that Porsha sat down with Aunt Liz when she went over there to visit her. She felt amazing after having that sit down conversation with her aunt, right? So why would you then, after that scene happened, and I would want to believe that your fiance is like your best friend and tells you everything, why would you then go over here and try and check this lady and tell her to put some respect on somebody's name?
I think Simon is dangerous for Porsha. 100%. Like, as much as I sat here and clowned at this damn show, Simon, I see in the interactions, there's times where like some shit will pop off and then she'll go to the room with Simon. And then by the time she comes out sounding just a little bit smarter, a little bit like she's more sneaky with things. She's good at trying to pretend. And I feel like she's only getting that because her and Simon are having these conversations. Simon's just a little bit smarter than her and better at being sneaky. So he's telling her how to operate in these conversations. He's hyping her head up and she's coming out and repeating what he's saying. So I'm mentioning all that to say, I feel like Simon has the ability to silo her from her family. Basically, he can mentally trap her because he's actually living in that fairy tale that she wants, whereas other people in her real life relationships, they play the part, but only part-time. Simon is going to be her imaginary man, city boy Simon, whatever it takes to secure the bag. And for that reason, I feel like it's dangerous. And that's what he was doing with Aunt Liz, repeating what he's been telling her in order to keep her away from her family. So I'm like, this is dangerous. He's definitely laying the traps.
Especially when you think about all of the jobs that she got rid of to be with the nigga. Like, that's another thing. Because somebody was like, they feel like he probably convinced her to let go of all of her other streams of income so that she could really fall into the fairy tale and then really become dependent upon him. Yep. And that's the only way he would really be able to control her because, you were able to control the other women until they got tired because you were the money man. But with Porsha, she's the bag. So you need to take her bag from her in a way so that she'll feel the desperation to keep this facade of a relationship going so that she can maintain this, this illusion that she's created for herself. It's sad. It's sad because I think that if she would have really done real work on herself, she would be able to do so much more, y'all. Like Porsha would probably be the type of person to work herself into her own daytime talk show if she played her cards right, because she's beautiful, she's personable, and people like her. So they would want to come on the show and talk to her. So if she was like good at that and really worked at that instead of trying to find some man to save her, she would have been able to do so much more. So it's just low-key disappointing.
Agreed.
High key.
Okay, let's see what else.
Yes.
Porsha and Dennis's sit down. Got to talk about that real quick. So Porsha wasn't open to giving him the details about where she was going to move with his child and a man that she just met. Okay. Then also went forward to not really want to include him in choosing a school for their daughter. Okay. What else did she do? She says that she wanted things to be black and white when it came down to, you know, their co-parenting situation. But when Dennis beat her to the punch and told her, I already sent you that over, it just, you know, spiraled out of control and Miss Porsha got upset. I feel like Dennis has every right to, and I think that's actually the way that he should go. Because a lot of the language Porsha was saying was giving me, I'm heavily listening to whatever Simon is saying. You're not really my family, you're Pilar's family or whatever. And it's like, that makes no sense when you got a whole show centered around that. And we always gonna be family because you're the mama to my daughter. Like, what do you mean? What are you saying? So I felt like that was ignorant. But I also feel like he should protect himself and always have that in paper, in writing, having that joint custody. Because Porsha, the way you have been moving with dropping your jobs and just how you've been going about stuff, it just makes me concerned. And at any moment, you probably could try to ice him out. Simon may drop another clue and you may follow up with that. And then next thing you know, this man's not in his daughter's life. Like, it's just sketchy to me. So I feel like all men, support yourself. Let me get to these super chats real quick. Thank you so much, Nola Reese, for the super chat. Project Pigeon Porsha. Wanting Dennis to be Uncle Daddy is ridiculous. Agreed. Okay?
Yep. Uncle Daddy.
And thank you so much, Scotty, for the super chat. I love you, ladies. Keep it moving and get well soon, Jay Lee. Let Miss C19 know how strong you really are. Thank you so much, Scotty, for the super chat. We appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, ladies, what are your thoughts about this sit down between Dennis and his baby mama, Miss Porsha?
Go ahead, Necey, because I see it on your face.
Porsha was giving bitter back. Also, what, Jamie?
It also was giving me like I'm a single parent, single black mama. I'm a single black mama. Like,
yes,
you're not at all.
That's what I was about to say. Bitter baby mama, and she wants to create a reason for him not to be present because, like you said, she kept talking. Where it was one scene at the beginning where she said, "I thought I would allow Dennis to come to the hospital so Pilar knows that he was there for her." What do you mean allow? He's very much owed the right to be at the hospital during his daughter's surgery, just like you are. Then later on, towards the end of the episode, she says, I'm just worried about my current family, which is me, Simon, and Pilar. You sound sick in the head that Pilar has probably seen this man and you barely known him for 2 weeks and you talking about my current family. That to me was wild. Then you show up in your cat suit with the vest trying to look good. So I'm like, oh, we're not in moo-moos no more like you was in the beginning. Now you want to show up with a vengeance because you realize whatever plan or whatever plot you was stirring up in Mexico didn't work. So instead of you playing it cool, you got the humble hairstyles, the moo-moo, you ain't doing that no more. Now you coming back with a vengeance trying to show him body yaddy. So yes, I'm with Dennis 100%. Just the way she was speaking in regards to little things lets me know that she wants to create a distance. So that way Pilar believes that the imaginary father that Porsha has placed in her life was more present than Dennis. So Dennis also says, I'm gonna stop in a second. Dennis also says, ain't neither one of us hurting for money on either side of the table, right? Yep. And he didn't do that to be disrespectful. I think he was saying, like, you don't ask me for things because both of our money is long. She tried to put that out there to make it seem like it was relatable. You ain't no regular ass, low middle class baby mama with no support living check. That's not the case. You're not going to call Dennis and ask him to send you $500 in the toy store. So stop playing. Then she tried to trick him into settling on a calendar, a piece of paper that she didn't probably printed from Excel, and have good faith that he would still have access to his daughter based on some shit you didn't print it off of Canva.
Come on.
I'm like, no. So I'm glad that Dennis is interested in joint custody because I hate when people encourage men to take their children, But if he wanted to pursue that, he could. He could pursue that because of what she's shown us on TV. So for her to get upset about joint custody, I'm like, you really wilding. You really wilding and you sick because you're trying to make it seem like your goal was to co-parent. You're only using your daughter as a catalyst to get back at this man because you bitter as fuck. So I just think the whole thing is sad, and Dennis should take her to court.
1 second, Bondy. I'm sorry. 1 second. Thank you so much, Karen, for the super chat. I want Dennis to save Porsha, but I think she is already too far gone. I don't trust Dennis' daddy around Pilar. Those Christmas pics look eerie to me. And then there was one more. Okay. Sean, thank you so much for the super chat. She was playing with the man in his space about not letting him know where she lives and talking about a calendar. Agreed. Okay, thank you guys so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. Sorry, go ahead, Bondy.
She was pressing him and she thought he was gonna retreat. And he hit her with that, yeah, bitch, I hit you up about that already. You ain't read the packet that I sent you? Like, I already sent you the packet about legally how we need to go to court and get all of this together so we can know what happens on vacations, what happens on holidays, what happens with school. I think what he was doing was very smart and something she should have been interested in if she doesn't want to continue to fight with him. But she wants to continue to fight with him because Porsha is also one of those women who love toxic relationships because they're fun. I'm just saying, like, they're not at a point yet where their soul can be weary from fighting and arguing with a nigga. Like, they're not in that space yet because the maturity level is not there. Right. If Porsha was mature and securing herself as a 40-year-old woman the way she should be, we would not be here right now. And when she showed up with Dennis, the bodysuit, the fur, having to mention that Dennis' daddy got it for her. Girl, don't nobody care what Dennis' daddy got for you because we still feel like Dennis got more money than Dennis' daddy. Okay, so don't nobody, okay, and don't nobody need to hear that. And then speaking of Fallon, okay, Pina, and you and Fallon having matching fucking Rolls Royces, bitch. You over there Tweety Bird happy that this nigga done bought you identical vehicles.
This is where we at.
Thank you for the graphics, Jamie.
That's the same car he borrowing, y'all, because allegedly he ain't got no coin. That's the same car, Porsha. You said, I hope he adjusted the seat because you might need to figure out what Fallon's seating.
To be clear, it's not exactly the same car, but it's the same Rolls Royce color, interior type of model. Like, it's just Fallon's is a 2-door and Porsche's is a 4-door.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only difference.
Okay.
As you see, the doors butterfly. Okay. But yes, this is just embarrassing, girl. You're embarrassing. And the way she's on the car, I can't stand when a woman that has bank like this acts so thirsty for some shit that a man bought her that she could have bought for herself. Like, I get being grateful, but you are laying and popping it and splitting it like you have never had a Rolls Royce bought for you by an African before. And also, like, you couldn't buy it for yourself. It's like she just wants to be a damsel in distress, even though she isn't. And that was the same thing with her trying to act like Dennis isn't there for their baby, acting like Dennis doesn't help with Pilar. Like, let's be real, bitch. You don't need grocery money from him, okay? You don't need a little couple of dollars to get the baby some coloring books and shit. You don't need that. So the fact that you're trying to act like the reason why he doesn't give in that way is because of him not wanting to give, when we saw Dennis take her shopping and drop $500 for no reason other than the fact that his baby wanted it. And she didn't even want the shit.
Facts.
Nope.
Facts. Let's talk about it. Facts.
I know he kept the car that Fallon took a picture with. I know.
Did y'all
notice? In his garage.
Yeah, he did keep it up.
He posted pictures of both of his version of that car and Portia's version of that car, his and hers. Don't you mean hers and hers, nigga?
Help me.
Oh my gosh. Did y'all notice how okay, it's right here. I was about to lose it. Okay, here we go. I was about to lose that thought and it came right back. So did y'all notice how whenever Dennis asked her where they were living at, she said the city? And if y'all was watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, remember she was trying to get Dennis to move out of the city. Mm-hmm. And another thing is we know Yes, we know that's a damn lie because you and Simon didn't sign no lease, but probably maybe 2 months ago max. And this wasn't during that time. This was much
It
earlier
wasn't
than
2 months
that.
ago. She just
Was it
posted
like a
that shit
month
a few
maybe?
weeks ago. A few
Right.
weeks ago, she posted, "We're finally moving
Oh,
in." We probably
yes.
can go to her Instagram right now and find that
It wasn't.
post.
Like
I
the
was being gracious with the 2 months because even if it was 2 months, we know she was lying in this scene because y'all just signed a lease, but you still trying to
Right.
hurt this man. Tragic.
Because she petty like that, bitch.
No, I think she was telling the truth on that part, y'all. Because I remember the time,
Really?
yeah, back in December. So back in December, when she got into it with Dennis, she came to social media to like talk about him, and she hit up one of her activist friends and added her and said, "Oh, I had a terrible sit down." That was in December. So they actually closed on that house December 1st, or at least Simon did, because his name is the only name that's on the record. So Simon closed on that home. So by the time she met with Dennis, she was right when she said, "Yeah, we just closed on this home." And then I think he moved in probably like the first, like I think January 1st or something like that. Like I think she moved in for sure like the first week of January.
So Jamie, that explains. Oh, Bonnie, you muted.
He had already moved into the office because it was stage furniture. So
Correct.
everybody was like, yes, okay. But the time frame, when I think about it, it does add up because they sped forward. So like it probably only took them 2 weeks to turn this video around. So if you
Right.
think about it, she meets up with him 4 months later. That was probably current time for us while we're
Mhm.
watching everything happen. And that was current time, which was probably why, it just took the 2 week turnaround. But yeah, she probably was right about that time frame. But yeah, not wanting to give him the address and let him know where. I also feel like they were both at first giving each other "I want to fuck you" energy. I don't care what she talking about. They
Mhm.
Yeah.
were both giving "I want to fuck you" energy at the beginning. Before they started getting into that paper conversation, shit was real like, "Oh, you look nice." It was like, "Oh yeah, you like it." You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I
It was
give her
giving.
years with Simon, because it ain't gonna hit however. Like she gonna be trying to get that old thing back. And I just can't wait till Dennis is at a place where he has a serious relationship. And he
Ooh,
about finna get married.
it's gonna be
Next.
You
tough. It's gonna
know,
be tough.
what y'all were saying about the timeline makes sense because I noticed in her confessional after the 4 months, she was like, then you get Porsha's family mess. I should have just been focused on Simon, me, and Pilar. And I was like, I wonder what took her to figure that out because nobody in your family you was going to listen to. Production didn't tell you nothing. And I was thinking to myself, if this was filmed back then, who would have told her that? But that answers my question because she probably was paying attention to the backlash immediately after episode 1 and 2 because people was lighting her ass up after episode 1, and that's where everybody said you should have focused on your immediate family. So that makes sense. She always come back and repeat stuff somebody else told her. It makes it seem like she's just so level-headed now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, that wraps up that on Miss Porsha's Family Matters, honey. We're about to go ahead and we got a question in from somebody. It's not as lengthy, but we're gonna go ahead and switch over to asking OLFP. All right, y'all. So we got this question over here. It's a bit lengthy. I'm not going to read all of it, but we're going to get into most of it. All right. Now, this person that sent this says, I have a friend named Stacy. And she's married to my husband's friend named Eric. Okay. I found out from my husband that Eric told him he's being investigated by the FBI. Apparently, Eric was mentoring this teenage girl from the church we all attend without her parents' knowledge. How weird. Some text messages were found in the phone that were inappropriate, which led to the FBI being contacted. The church also has a restraining order against this man as well. Now, according to him, it was just mentoring her in photography, and she would also confide in him about her home life. Her parents are divorced, and she lives with her mother. Okay, Eric has picked her up from school during lunch, and also picked her up from her house without her mother knowing. He says he only picked her up twice, and took her out to eat. Okay, now it's coming out that from a trusted source that the little girl is about 18. She's a senior in high school. She has kissed this man. The girl has tried to reach out to the wife to apologize to her for kissing her husband and stuff like that. Let's go back and see what else they're saying. They said the girl tried to call, the wife or whatnot, but Eric says he told this woman's husband. Okay, Eric says that he told his wife everything, but of course the friend doesn't believe it. Okay, mind you, he was creeping with this teenage girl while his wife was pregnant. Okay, he cheated on her before. However, I guess they resolved those issues after he cheated on her. So basically what's happening is the friend is at a place where she's about to link up with this woman at some point, and they probably have already had this link up, and she just wasn't sure whether she should tell her this information, considering the fact that they already had a cheating situation in their marriage, and she doesn't want to be the person to break it up even more. And I'm kind of like, I don't know, girl, because I kind of feel like break it up, girl, because the FBI is going to break it up anyway. But it's kind of like it's a delicate thing when you want to tell your friend about something, because they don't be wanting to hear that. So it leaves her in a tough spot. What are you all's thoughts?
Girl, just the police gonna tell you eventually. So they're gonna tell her eventually. So stay your ass out of that shit. Stay your ass out of it. And then when she comes to you and tells you, act shocked.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen with domestic disputes. You never know if this man is actually going to want to go to jail for grooming this young lady. So I wouldn't insert myself in that, because those domestic disputes can be dangerous and you don't want to get involved. So yeah, allow the FBI to break it up for sure. She might already know. She might already actually know.
Because if the church got a restraining order on you, sir, and that's the church all of y'all go to, how the wife don't know? Is he just telling her he don't want to go no more? He don't like one of the deacons or something? How's she not putting two and two together? And it's not adding up. I would think that she would know by now, unless, I don't know, she may be one of them kept wives that don't be wanting to do all the research and dig into his information or something like that. But you got to know something is off. And then the girl also mentioned that he was going to pick this girl up from her house at 1 and 2 in the morning. Like, what? You ain't never noticed your husband was out the bed at that time? Like, you couldn't have been that asleep.
I'm sorry, that man did something to that girl. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
More than no damn kiss. Hell out of here.
Exactly. 1000%. So I think y'all got some good advice. Like, stay out of the SHI, girl, and just, when it comes to your dough, when it comes to your friend dough, just, act surprised, like, oh, what? Or whatever, girl. So either way. Good luck. Okay, we're about to go ahead and transition, and we're going to get into some gossip in just a second. But while we're doing that, I want you guys to go ahead and like the video. Go ahead. All right, y'all.
Yes.
I was there for all of it. I was there for all of it.
Yes. Y'all have liked the video. Yes. Okay, we're about to talk about some gossip stuff. I want to talk about these guys here. Okay, I want to talk about Jay-Z, Big Sean, and Meek Mill, because what they're trying to do, they're petitioning the New York state law to pass a Senate bill, and it's called S752. Okay, so in case y'all don't know what it is, it's called like the rap music on trial. Basically, this bill would stop the court from entering any rap lyrics to, use as evidence to, go against the rappers in an effort to throw them in jail. And I just want to know you guys' thoughts about that. I'm mixed. I'm very mixed. I feel like, because a lot of y'all, it be the underground rappers sometimes. They be the ones that be really putting all their mess out there and be out here like that song on TikTok. Such and such got shot. That got shot. Who's Corbin? Whatever, like you out here putting all this information in this song, and it's like, no, sir, they might need to investigate you, baby. They might need them lyrics. So it's just, I'm not sure, because sometimes they pull in irrelevant lyrics, lyrics that's not relevant to the case. So I'm up and down. It seems like they don't want the rap lyrics involved at all, but I feel like they could be helpful at times. I don't know. What y'all think?
I personally feel two ways about this. First of all, I do feel like they low-key should get a law made so that they can't use rap lyrics against them, because they may not be their story. It may not be something that they did, but a lot of rappers will still rap things in a way that it makes it a personal story, but it's not really a personal story. Tupac used to do that all the time, where he would write a song from a standpoint of it was a part of his personal life, but it wasn't something that happened to him. It was something that happened to somebody he knew. So I feel like in that way, it doesn't need to be able to be used against people. But at the same time, we wanted 6ix9ine to go to jail. We absolutely wanted 6ix9ine to go to jail. He had rapped about it. He had put it on Instagram. It was time for him to go. We were unhappy that he got out as soon as he did. But then we also feel like, did Bobby Shmurda have to spend so much time in jail? Either way, we're glad that he's out and juking all the same.
You know what? When you say that, the next thing that comes to my mind is, if only enter the lyrics if it's directly related to the case. Then if they're speaking in raps about this, like, I hate to say it, God rest his soul, like Young Dolph. So if these guys were to go off and have rapped about something like that, and now they're on trial, then bring that bring that in.
But you would have to prove that exact lyric can draw to that exact situation. And the way rap lyrics are generalized a lot of the times, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, some of these little niggas are stupid and be giving the streets and shit. And it's just like, what are you
T
doing?
Grizzly, First Day Out, that is my song. But word for word, that song I will blast to my eardrums about to pop. But he literally outlines every single thing. Went to court, beat trial this many times. He can't go to the jewelry store. It's like every single, he names the street.
How was that spelled?
Like,
T Grizzly? How was that spelled? Yeah, how's that spelled?
T-E Grizzly, Grizzley, or
okay, I got it.
Yeah.
First Day Out, that's everything. And then another song that I thought, another song that I thought of was The Race by TK. He literally recounts everything that he did before he gets sentenced. So basically the song is about him and his friends. They end up robbing an old man and breaking and entering, and he's killed upon entry, right? So he ends up going on a run, and when he's on the run, he makes this song called The Race. Now he ain't no like deep rapper, but it's definitely a bop to listen to, and he counts everything. So anyway, I feel strongly that they should not be able to use rap lyrics against rappers 100%, just because I feel like it's a really slippery slope. And as Bondy mentioned, rap is so generalized, they can say anything and try to apply it. And I just don't want to give the law any type of additional flex to be able to, press charges and put people in prison based off art. So I absolutely think that they should create a law to protect themselves.
I like the way you put that, based off art. I like that. Okay.
Another thing when I think about it is I honestly agree with you, Necey, for another reason, is because I noticed the way they hem up them rappers. Like, for instance, I think a lot of them be involved in gang shit, but a part of their gang shit is to have some shit on a plane. Okay, there's always some shit on a plane. And I think that they end up getting hemmed up because somebody heard a rap lyric and added that with some street shit and then hemmed you up at the airport, and now you got a whole bunch of drugs on the plane. Yeah. So I feel like they shouldn't be able to use that, because y'all also be hemming them up on shit that I feel like they be caught up in, and I don't think it's necessarily fair to like put people in those situations, because like a lot of people think that rappers going to join like gangs, and yeah, for snooping them, sure. But it's a lot of them that have to do that so that they can do what they do around the city without having issues all the time. Like they gotta go and join or talk to or dap off or bring a bag of weed to the right nigga so that the club doesn't get shot up when they go to perform. You know what I'm saying? And everybody can still get their money. So, protect the rappers a little bit. Yeah,
I mean, I love the points that y'all made for sure. Y'all got me leaning back over on the other way. I was like, well, I feel I'm in the middle. They shouldn't. But now when y'all make y'all points, it makes a lot of sense because I'm starting to think about like, I don't know what the rock stars rap about for real over there on their side, but I want to believe
they sing about killing themselves a lot. They sing about killing themselves a lot. They ask people why aren't they dead? Like it's a lot of like demonic
stuff,
shit.
right? Don't they talk about that? Like they ain't getting
drugs.
And they're also not being demonized in their music the same way Black people are.
Agreed.
Right, exactly.
Agreed. All right, ladies. Well, we're about to go ahead and move on to someone else that's been another hot topic as of yesterday, and that is Miss Jenny Nguyen. And I hope I said her last name correctly. Nguyen.
It's Nguyen.
Ghostly.
Jenny Nguyen. So Miss Girl, honey, over there, she is a cast member of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. For those of you guys that do not know and are unfamiliar, Miss Jenny is in big trouble at this time because somebody went scouring throughout her Facebook and they found some posts on her page that were not positive, okay, at all towards the Black community. So they decided to air her out. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what some of those images look like. I took a screenshot because I personally went over to her page and did a little digging and searching. The images that are off to the side, I saw all of those on that page and more. So I took a screenshot so that you guys can know this is indeed Jenny's page. The only thing I wish I would have done was gotten a screenshot of her cover photo because that was an actual image of her and her daughter. There were pictures of her and her husband, as you can see in the corner, and a lot of other photos of her. And one of the pictures that's circulating around, you can see it on that screenshot of this particular, of that photo being on her page, okay? So Miss Jenny had a lot of negative things to say. I'm leaving it up for a second for you guys to, go ahead and, check it out, read it. She says some negative things about the Black community. She's even spread false information about George Floyd and a lot of stuff, okay? Now, Miss Jenny did not address things for quite some time on yesterday. It took her a very long time for her to address the BS. And she finally responded like towards the afternoon or the evening time, somewhere in there. And she gave us this week's apology. And the caption said, #hate is a virus. So why you didn't catch that virus when you went on to Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and then try to put that off on Mary? But we finna get into it, so give me a second, okay? So here we are. This is the post that she put up. She says, I want to acknowledge and apologize for my deleted Facebook post from 2020 that resurfaced today. At the time, I thought I was speaking out against violence, but I have since learned how offensive and hurtful my words were. It's why I deactivated that account more than a year ago and why I continue to try to learn about perspectives different from my own. I regret those posts and I'm sincerely sorry for the pain that I have caused. Jenny, bravo, whoever make the content, the producers, y'all gonna have to uproot Miss Girl because it's so many lies in this that we didn't even need this apology because we already knew that she was full of SHI and all of the tea. For real. If I went over to your page and got a screenshot, why you sitting up here lying, saying that number one, some things resurfaced that you deleted years ago when they still was on your page. Then you said that you deleted an account that was never deleted. So that's the thing. It's too many lies in there for me. And is this what y'all want? Is this somebody y'all want to represent? To represent Bravo? I'm a little confused. Yikes. But then y'all still not letting Nene come back. Ooh, somebody help me make. It's not.
I don't think Bravo gonna hold this against her. I think they gonna treat it similar to, it was one of the housewives on Real Housewives of Dallas, and I can't remember her name, but she said something racist against, she did like an Asian accent. And then it was another one that said something racist against Mexican people. And I felt like it was just kind of overlooked. She came on and apologized for it and they never directly addressed it. But I feel like the energy will probably be different on another show. Especially since, okay, so this is the thing. I do think Jenny racist, and we kind of alluded, we had a good conversation a couple weeks ago whenever we talked about how a lot of non-American born people do not understand the struggle that Black people go through, because they think if I came over here from nothing, you could do it as well, not knowing that a lot of it's systemic and we were brought over here. So that's what I absolutely see in Jenny. She is repeating things that people around her have said. She probably feels like the token in rooms where you see a lot of successful white people. You're an immigrant, so you feel like a token because you're successful as well. So you're seeing what they're saying. And I'm like, girl, this apology wasn't good enough for me because if you were posting that stuff for years, because I think not all of it was posted in 2020. She had been posting that for years.
Mm-hmm.
You stand by this. You and your husband raise y'all's kids based on this. So I think she deserves to get kicked off. Honestly, y'all brought her on the show to be another minority, but to see her in a way to where she can create dissonance between other minorities lets me know that she doesn't feel the quota for diversity on the show because she still has a very whitewashed and tainted mindset. So
Mm-hmm.
replace her with another minority person if you want to diversify Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
I agree. And
She's worse than the white woman.
Meredith can't even come out and say anything. She said she had a lot to say, but it seems like they're being restricted from talking about things at this time.
Did you get the DM?
Oh no, let me check it
Check
out.
the DM.
Let me also say thank you to this person for the super chat. I promise she's going to turn this around on how she deals with racism as an Asian immigrant and cry. She better not. I don't even want this to be a part of her storyline.
Let me
Oh,
tell you
wow.
something.
Oh, not Miss Jen
Yeah.
Shaw for the rescue, honey.
There you go.
My
Jen
God.
had something to say on. But let me say this though, before you get into that.
Okay.
When Dewey was talking about having more children so that they can fill the world with more people like them, that was my first inkling that something was wrong. Who the fuck says that? That was the first thing, because I was like, oh, okay, you're one of those. I thought about it. And then as time went on, I started to not like Dewey. And then I started to not like her. And we felt that she was pouring it on rather thick with Mary because, good and goddamn well in American society, a lot of Asian facial features are considered positive and beautiful, especially in comparison to Black people's facial features, which are still on a scale together. That's what I don't like that y'all do. Y'all try to compare y'all shit to us like we're not all on the same scale. We're not on different scales, okay? We're on the same scale and you're higher than us. So you can't use how white people see you negatively as a comparison to how white people see us negatively, because you then jump on the bandwagon to do that to us as well so that you can see more down with white people, while simultaneously only being able to come here and be successful because Black people fought in the Vietnam War, which is probably why you came over here. And then another thing is that Black people fought for the civil rights movement for you to even be able to come over here and live your life and get tax breaks and all the other shit that Asian people are able to do in this country while simultaneously using their foot to step on our necks and our communities. But yes, Jen Shaw had something to say.
Okay, I'm pulling that up now. So give me 1 second, guys, as I pull that up for everybody. I do have a few super chats that I'd like to get to. So if you guys could just bear with me as I pull this up. Anything else that you wanted to add about the situation, Miss Necey?
No, I just hope they kick her out, send her on her way, pack her bags. You better get your luggage.
It's like, really, bitch, how dare you?
Please.
Like, I just keep thinking about the audaciousness. And then also like the obsessiveness of it. This is what you put on your Facebook. Like, this is what's all over your Facebook. Like the way
obsessive.
you're obsessing with us and the way that comment she made about, I grew up in Long Beach. I know how to wrap my hair up and take my earrings off and be like, yeah, let's work it out. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Don't use anything you've learned from us. Please do not. Please don't use anything you've learned from us because you obviously have an issue with us and you're simultaneously obsessed with us. Weird as fuck.
Thank you so much, Chanel, for the super chat. Bravo fired people from Vanderpump Rules for past racist posts. I wonder if the same will happen to her. It should, definitely, because these posts are as recent as 2020. And if you look at 2021, 2020 and 2021 was really the same year. So that's very recent. A lot of times when old posts come up, it be from like 5+ years ago or something. No, this is very recent. This is how she feels now. And I feel like that was her exhibiting a bit of discrimination on the cast against Miss Mary based on how she treated her, but other people can say whatever it is they want to say to you. So I don't feel like that's fair. Thank you so much, Nehart, for the super chat. And then I have one more, and then we'll get into what Miss Jen Shaw had to say as well. Livero, thank you so much for the super chat. I think she should come back as a friend of the show and let Jen Shaw and Meredith address her. Fire her for season 3. Loved Bondy's education about the civil rights movement on her channel. Thank you so much for the super chat. I think I would love to see Jen Shaw and Meredith actually address her on Twitter. I feel like her coming back onto the show as a friend of the show is still being rewarded for her views and her behavior of how she treated her past castmate. But let's go ahead and get into what Miss Jen Shaw had to say. Okay, so Jen puts this on her page and she says, I rarely believe what I see or hear online. I know firsthand what it feels like to be judged without evidence or an admission of guilt. However, since my Real Housewives of Salt Lake City cast member has admitted that she made those horrible comments and posts, I must now stand up and on behalf of my husband and sons who are African American to say that I am deeply offended by the racially insensitive posts and comments. It was infuriating to see her like and repost comments that made a mockery of and show complete apathy towards those killed, marching to bring awareness to the deep-seated social justice issues that plague our country. I am equally disappointed by the disingenuous apology that was issued. Needless to say, we have some real SHI to talk about. No, ma'am, Miss Jen Shaw, if you're going to talk about it, you need to talk about it off camera. Don't be trying to sit up here and make this a part of the storyline to continue to have this woman on the show. No, ma'am. I hate.
So she can use it to grandstand and liken herself to Black people again, because you know how she like to do that. She loves to pick up our arguments.
That's what she tried to do with Mary. That's what she tried to do with Mary, make Mary be the racist. But I feel the same way about Jen as I do about Jenny, because Jen, in a different way, she tries to use her person of color entry card to basically get over on people and to make it seem like she is a victim. For example, last season, she said, all of you guys had your effing foot on my necks. And she said something, I felt like she was alluding to something to do with George Floyd, because that's right around the time that it happened, when she said, you had your foot on my neck and I'm the only minority here. It really disgusted me that she would use that situation and try to compare it to your Manila colored ass on the show and make it seem like, you know, you really can relate to the struggle. So all this is reflection.
And she's not even proud to be herself, because if she was proud to be who she is, she wouldn't have bleached her skin just like Mary did.
Oh, help me. All quiet on the Western Front. Okay. Let's go ahead and scoot on over, honey. We got to talk
Wait a minute. Somebody mentioned something in the comments that I wanted to ask y'all about. They said that Jen has a Jenny Blackmore table in her home. And I don't know what that is, but somebody mentioned that in my comments, that they knew that she was racist because she had that in her house. And I was like, what is that? I don't even know what that is.
I've never heard of that before. Now I got to look it up.
I'm about to say that must be some racist artist. Is that what that is? Jenny Black? Right. Black.
Girl, all of us over here like, well, let me put it back on the screen.
Like, what does that mean?
Blackamoor.
Blackamoor? Okay, that sounds racist.
It ain't the more that I know. Oh,
Oh, okay. She had that in her home. Interesting. Basically, a ceramic blackface. Blackface statues.
Oh. Wow.
Oh, wow. They said very expensive art for elite racist.
Oh, wow.
Let her go. Get your luggage. You need to catch your flight, Jenny.
Wow, that's weird. You guys are really obsessed with us. Like, I don't see Black people creating little white figurines to keep around our houses.
That's very weird.
It's just
Yikes.
Jewelry, furniture, just early modern period depicting a Black man. Common examples. Okay, wow. That's a rich racism. And then remember that elitism that I was talking about with Dewey? And, you know, wanting to populate the world with other like-minded xenophobic Asian people. Oh, thanks for that. Because, you know, we don't have enough of those.
Yikes. Well, she's not the only person that's about to be dragged or that's getting dragged. Okay, we got to go ahead and get into these guys here. Okay, this is Miss Brittany Renner. All right, her name has been getting around, and these are the guys of whatever podcast Fresh and Fit, honey. These guys are highly disrespectful and have been problematic for quite a few weeks. Okay, they're the reason that I believe Asian Doll got up and walked away. Am I right? Because of how disrespectful they are. They strike me as men that know how to disrespect women, but if a man came in their face, they shook. Yikes. But it seems like Brittany is going to have a chance to sit down with them, have a conversation over on DJ Academics, wherever it's going to be at, on his page, on DJ Academics page, child. But let me just say that Miss Girl gets them together. And I don't even know if I'm going, I feel like I may see the clips on Instagram, but we going to see. He said that she's not special. She's like, okay, well then you're not special. It's like, what if I say that? Then what you got? I just love how she kept them quiet. The gag for me was y'all telling her to talking to the mic, but she was talking to the mic the whole time. So that was a distraction and a deflection that y'all was going to get y'all ate up, which was quite hilarious to me. And I love that she referenced the fact that y'all are forgettable. Loved it. So yeah, that's probably going to be something highly entertaining. And I hope that she continues to drag them throughout that interview and that they regret, you know what I'm saying, actually inviting her in to have a sit down to talk. What are y'all thoughts on it?
I think this dude is a troll, the worst type of stuff. And when I watched this video, I couldn't help but think back to a couple of weeks ago when, wasn't it Asian Doll or somebody was on the show and he kept getting loud, no side conversation. I wonder, was he a little bit more aggressive with her because he didn't think she was as cute as Brittany Renner? So I'm glad that Brittany shut him up. But I feel like it wouldn't be too far-fetched that he got aggressive with her because he felt like more aggressive with her because he felt like he could. Also, did y'all notice how as she was telling him off, he tried to still assert some level of control? Get closer to the mic, sweetie. He still tried to baby her when she was going off. I'm just like,
Did you see that? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I felt like I didn't want to watch the whole thing because I don't want to give DJ Academics a view. So if there are any other good clips out there, I hope somebody will cut it up and send it on out so we can watch it somewhere else besides DJ Academics platform. But I love that she ate him up because I feel like you said, because he felt like she was attractive and he's the type of woman that she's the type of woman he wants to fuck. He can talk all of that shit all he wants to, but Brittany Renner is the exact type of biracial woman that you love and go up for. And she gave you her ass to kiss. And you low-key didn't know how to handle that. And I think it's hilarious. But yeah, no, I feel like when it comes to browner skinned Black women, you got to have another man in the room in order for them to act like they have some sense. I don't know how long they're going to be able to continue doing this because the funny part about it is they're so predictable. I think we all went to school with weird looking ass niggas like these that were so upset because they couldn't pull somebody. And it's like, it's not my fault that you're facially challenged. It's not my fault that people don't know if you are African American or Indian. Like, it's not my fault. Like, do something. I don't know. But you can tell that those are the issues with the aesthetic that they've had, you know what I'm saying? Not being down enough and all of that shit. And so they take this approach towards Black women like we're so beneath them for requiring men to be more manly than they are. You know what I'm saying? Which has its own toxic things, you know. But ultimately, it's like, my dude, like, everybody deals with rejection. Get over it. Like, get over it. Everybody deals with rejection. Why are you making a whole platform to dress and demean women down, you know, to make yourself feel better? And that's what Brittany Renner was basically saying. And I love that about what she said. What does that do for you to say that I'm not special? Because it does something for me. And I love that she admitted that, because I'm like, yes, because I would have never vocalized that. So I love that she said, because it does something for me to tell you, you a bitch ass nigga. And I was like, it absolutely does.
Oh, that's real.
It does. Feels good.
Come on, Miss Brittany Annie. So we're about to go ahead and talk about some. I need to give you guys a warning. You may not like this, but let's talk about Mike Todd. Yes. Yes. Mike Todd. Okay. This is a pastor. You can catch him throughout YouTube. Okay. He has a very popular page. I actually have checked out his content quite a few times. All right. This time he kind of stepped outside of the comfort zone for me. Okay. Now, he was called out for, I think this video surfaced like a few years ago, maybe one or two. It first came out, but then now it's resurfacing this year because this generation is good for bringing some up plenty. And so with Mike Todd, he ends up taking saliva out of his mouth and plastering it on the face of a member of the church and trying to add in a correlation to the Lord. And I do have that clip here. I do have that clip here. So we're going to go ahead and, play it. All right. So y'all go ahead and check this out.
My dream car. And now you're going to ask me to sell it back and ride in the hoopty again? Yeah, because the vision I'm about to give you, it might get nasty. And do you hear and see the responses of the people? What I'm telling you is how you just reacted is how the people in your life will react when God is doing what it takes for the miracle. What are you saying?
All right. I just had to give y'all, I was going to say give y'all a little taste, but I feel like that don't even flow right after what we just saw, yes, I didn't want to show you guys the coming down. I didn't want to show you all that, but show you what happens with the spit. We also learned later that this is indeed his brother. I believe they said it was. I don't give a who it is. That's keep your DNA over there with you. But after this video surfaced, he got a lot of feedback. A lot of people kind of had a lot of things to say, which caused him to come to the forefront and give his apology. So y'all go ahead and check this out as well.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope you're having an amazing Monday. I just want to acknowledge what happened yesterday when the spit hit the fan. I watched it back and it was disgusting. Like, that was gross. I want to validate everybody's feelings. That was a distraction to what I was really trying to do. I was really trying to make the word come alive and for people to see the story. But yesterday it got too live, and I own that. And I just want to make sure people know that we want to help people. We want people to see Jesus. We want people to feel loved. We want people who are desperate to be able to find hope. And I'm passionate about that, so much so that I try to do extreme things to help people get it. And yesterday it crossed the line. So I love you guys. I appreciate everybody that's been praying for us and sending us messages. And to anybody who just saw that 3-minute clip, I really encourage you to go back and watch the whole message. There's some truth and some life in there that could potentially change your whole life. When Jesus spit on that man, he was blind and then he could see. For my brother, who I love and honor so much, I just called him. He was bald before I spit on him, and he's still bald today. So no miracle here. And so next time I'll rethink and do something differently. I love everybody. I'm praying for everybody. And Transformation Nation, thank you for riding. We're going to represent God to the lost and found for transformation in Christ. All right, everybody, have an amazing week. Peace.
Now we understand the message, Mr. Mike. Okay. Or at least we understand the word, but the message was wrong, baby. We understand the word you was trying to connect it to, but the message was wrong. I'm glad you were able to go back and watch that and see how disgusting it was. And it's no shade because I don't really want to come down on him too much. He knows that it was disgusting. He admitted that, but at the end of the day, it's like, how you think you the Lord and you're gonna take the spit out your mouth and put it on the man's face? But I didn't like it. I didn't like it, but I guess we appreciate the apology. What are you all's thoughts about this?
I'm in agreement. I appreciate the apology and how he said it was too far. But the thing that stuck out to me that I didn't like was that all the people from his church, not all, many of the people from his church who were underneath the comments sided and tried to act like this was completely normal and it was completely okay because it was his brother. And I'm like, I know y'all not really gonna sit here and convince yourselves that this was okay because of the message. And like he admitted himself, it distracted from the message. So
Right.
I want those church members who really just jumped to defense and tried to make it make sense when it didn't, to really think about people. They get spiritual beliefs mixed up with the businesses of a church, and they look at him as a leader, and because he is a great pastor, they are willing to set logic aside. Logically, that was not okay, but biologically, that was not okay. The way we in the middle of a pandemic, okay. So I just want them to think about that. But glad he came back around and apologized and encouraged people to go listen to whatever his message was.
That's why I'm gonna love the Lord from my house. I'm gonna go ahead and love the Lord from my house. Something is wrong. Something is wrong, and there are more things that I would like to say, but I don't want to offend anybody. I really don't. I don't want to offend y'all, so I'm gonna let this ride tonight. But I'm gonna just say, white people gave y'all this religion. Go on with it.
Oh, and speaking of white people, so glad that you mentioned that. There's a TikTok video that's been going around. It stemmed from a song called Act Like You Know. If you're on TikTok, it's called Act Like You Know, Act Like You Know, Act Like You Know. So this woman decided that she was going to make a post about her husband saying that she's blacker than most black people. And in this video, she says, act like you know, act like you know. But I don't have the video, but I do have a clip of the live when the people called her to the front. She decided to come on her live, and she was very not giving a damn about it. So y'all go ahead and y'all check this out.
Do another one tonight, being that this is what y'all love so much. I'm gonna try to do one tonight. Explain the video and stop playing. What's to explain? I said what I said. This man says that to me. This man says that to me. Y'all say I'm lying. This man, he's right here. He says it all the time. He lives with me. He's been with me for 3 years. He knows what it is. There's the explanation to the video. Next. There's 256 of y'all in here this quick. So let's talk. What was the TikTok about talking about act like you know? Act like you know. First of all, that sound is my favorite. I know y'all love that sound. It's great. And he says it all the time to me. So there you go. Feel me? Okay, you and him are both goofies. Thank you. And what are you? You're sitting here watching me. So what does that make you?
Bored.
0 likes? Fam, how many videos do you have that have half as many views as I have? Probably 0. Because most of y'all sitting in here don't have any personality, so you got to watch other people to try to take on their personality. Y'all are mad at me because I have a personality.
No, not black women.
He's white now. Baby, you're white. He's kind of excited because, I don't have my white privilege card. We could have threw that thing around. There you go. He just said what he said. That motherfucker right there is from Atlanta. There's nothing really white about him. However, he does do you like black culture? Do you think I like black culture? I am black. Listen, that's what I'm going to do tonight. I think I'm going to say I am black culture because I really am. But I'm going to try to look prettier so y'all can't ride how ugly I look. So I'll try to put some makeup on for y'all. I'm goofy. I mean, okay. I bet he's so embarrassed. He just thinks this is all stupid. But he's not into this kind of stuff. He's not really into social media, so he doesn't care. Obsessed with black culture. I love black culture. I mean, I don't really, when I'm looking at it, I don't go, oh, I love black culture. I love certain things, and it happens to be black culture. But I'm not sitting around going, I love, going to bed at night going, baby, guess what? I love black culture. I am a culture vulture. My kids will tell me I'm a culture vulture.
I'm sorry, her kid. I'm
All
sorry,
right.
her kid.
You say what?
Her kids.
Right, her kids. Right? It's killing me that she says that, she loves the black culture, but then you turn around and you be disrespectful to it. That's not, adding up for me. And the fact that he lets her just talk how she wants with nonchalant 1,000%. I'm like, sir, I'm sure you have like black family members outside of yourself, other black women. I feel like that's disrespectful. And I mean, I didn't like it. Talking about I am black culture. Like, number one, you're not. And I pity the fools sitting next to you that will make you think that you higher on a pedestal than what you are. And then you over here joking about your own privilege, talking about, oh, I didn't have my privilege on today or something like that. Like, it was giving a whole lot of ignorance. But did y'all catch that he didn't really show his face in the camera the whole time? He really was kind of looking straight. Like, yeah, I tell her that to make her feel good, but how key, I don't want nobody to really know that I'm affiliated, so don't show me. Who help them? Help them. It's like, what's going on? We just in the third week of the year?
So, first of all, I'm going to just state the obvious. You can't be better than us because you are lacking the main thing that makes us us, which is the melanin. You are lacking. How old is she? Because I'm very curious to know why her face is giving meth, and she is convinced in some way that she's better. Girl, what? Girl, what? This is the shit that black men tell white women so that y'all will pay their bills.
Oh,
so that you will allow for him to live. Like you said, he lives with you. Yeah. He tells you this so that he'll big your head up so that you can pay his bills and take care of him and ruin your credit, because black men do not treat anybody better than black women. They just tell y'all that y'all are going to, in order to convince y'all that y'all are going to get a different outcome than we get. But y'all get the same outcome.
Help me.
Mental illness on both parts. Mental illness. You know, nothing insults me. Okay, this is it. Her right here. It's one thing to mock and say you are black culture because you got a black accent. But another thing that pisses me off and takes me to the next level is when white women carry a lot of less than qualities. For example, having a hard life, for example, being overweight, and they try to turn that into a flex by dating black men, or they feel more closely aligned with black people because of their lesser than quality, like being poor. It's always being poor. So now, growing up in a trailer, now you want to use your lesser than quality to be somewhat parallel to black people. Girl, you're mentally ill. I don't care how many black and brown babies come out of your vagina. You will never be a black woman. I don't care. So I think this is the dangers of whenever you get token men who allow ignorant as non-black people to do ignorant stuff, and they prioritize their tokenness over their respect for their actual culture. And it has nothing to do with their preference to black women. It's respect for their own culture. So that's what I'm seeing that fool do in that driver's seat of that car. Both of them are some damn fools. They clowns.
Yes. Thank you so much, the Critical Capricorn, for the super chat. I muted this while she spoke, but without even hearing it, I can tell you that I blame the black man. And this what we mean, hashtag protect black women. Give me 1 second, y'all. I think I have two more. Just let me get to them. I appreciate you. Oh, thank you so much, Danny, for the super chat. This is the modern day blackface / minstrel show. Thank you so much, Danny, for the super chat. And Denora says, hey, cousins, in my head, I'm at work, but came through to like the video. Okay, I'll catch the playback night, y'all. Good night. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks for popping in. Okay, any other thoughts that you ladies have about this fiasco of a situation here?
Shoo, be gone.
Shoo, be gone. Let us be gone, okay? Let us move on to our very last topic of the night. Honey, we're about to just touch on, not really talk a whole lot about. I'm not sure if you all are following this particular situation, but it's Cardi B and Miss Tasha K, okay? So for those of you guys that do not know, Cardi B is she's in trial right now because she decided to sue Tasha K over a defamation of character. based on the situation that happened a few years ago. Tasha K did an interview with someone that I believe Cardi B was familiar with in her past. The person alleged that Cardi B had STDs, and Tasha K took the story and kind of ran with that. And you know, she just kind of like went on a rampage about it. She added more sauce to the plate regarding this particular situation. So after sending multiple cease and desist, and Tasha deciding to wipe her arse with them, Cardi B decided to result in a lawsuit for defamation. So they are currently on trial. You know, they're in trial now, and they're on like day 7. And it's been interesting. You know, a lot of people have been saying that Cardi's attorneys are winning. They're saying that today it seems like Tasha K's attorneys may have had a win in there at some point. It's been a lot of stuff going on around this, but high key, the main thing is that people feel like the situation between Cardi B and Tasha K is going to change the game if Cardi wins. And it's going to alter how people go about working. Like they feel like not just some people, but all. When it comes to people that are in the same realm of reporting on entertainment, gossip, all of that stuff, they feel like things are going to have to change. People aren't going to be able to just go out here and spew lies, right? But I just feel like it's not going to change for everybody. I feel like it's going to change for those people that have been operating unethically and without integrity. But it's interesting that this is a part of the conversation and the topic, because when you do this type of work, you would have always thought that integrity was there. You know, what are you guys' thoughts about this situation? Do you think it's going to change anything with how y'all do y'all work?
I don't think so. I don't think it'll change anything with how I work, because I have always tried to only report on things that other bigger blogs have already talked about. First of all, start there. I mean, I think we can all say that this shit took a dark turn, and we can go very deep into the psyche of, you know, everybody involved in this situation. But ultimately, like, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. The whole situation is fucked up. What happened was fucked up. The Star Marie girl, we knew she was lying. Like, there was no way for her to, and y'all, I feel like I have said this a million times. There was no way for her to have that information unless, like, and I mean to prove it, unless somebody had given, if she and Cardi had sex and Cardi gave her an STD, that's the only way she would be able to know that. Okay. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been privy to her medical records. Okay. So how otherwise would you have known that unless you was all in her situation? And the evidence they used with, you know, Cardi having cold sores, like, it was just kind of like, people get cold sores all the time. There are different types of herpes simplex, of, you know, of course, simplex C has nothing to do with sex, but ultimately Tasha may be able to use that to get out of this in some way because of the language. But because Cardi had that test and they proved that she didn't have any type of herpes, but then it can still be very low. So that doesn't, you know, necessarily prove anything, but it was just all messy from the very beginning. And you just don't do shit like that. You don't get up here and just blast and lie and keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. Like, you don't do all of that. Like, because it's not worth it. Like, in real life, it's not worth the amount of energy you're now having to exhaust with all of this. Because this just seems like a lot, y'all. And it's gonna go past the Cardi B situation from what we understand, because everybody keeps forgetting to talk about this. But y'all remember Tasha about to get hemmed up from the R. Kelly situation too, because she allegedly bought some information that she shouldn't have had, access to. Thank you, babe. So I just kind of feel like it's all unfortunate. But I, like I said in my video, I feel like I do see a change. She may not be admitting that she's changing, but I'm seeing a change. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that it continues in a line of, girl, just report the news, break your stories from people who can actually give you, firsthand information about something, and do better. Do better. That's it.
I agree 100%. You said, will it change the way I do things? I don't like to talk about gossip. I like to listen to a lot of gossip, but I don't like to talk about gossip. It's too much. So no, wouldn't change anything for me, but I definitely understand why Cardi is making an example of this whole situation. It's unfortunate that it got to go this far, but I definitely see why. But yeah, that's really all I got to say about it. I'm gonna be looking for the videos, figuring out how this case progresses exactly.
Yeah, what I've been hearing is some of the videos I've been watching. A few attorneys and stuff talk about this in terms of the whole herpes situation or whatever. I can't recall what it was that you said, Bondy, about how it could make this thing go away. Actually, what it sounds like, defamation has been proven. It just sounds like it's going to lessen and from what the attorneys are saying, it sounds like it's just going to lessen the amount that she has to pay. So at this point, that's what
Right.
they're working on. So that's just, I just think it's an overall messed up situation for everybody involved. Like, that's crazy. And then you just don't know what's going to happen after this case. If Cardi, confirmed, right now it is speculation, right? Even though we a lot of us watch and see that it's believed to be that the defamation has been proven, right? If she goes on to win this case and to win the money behind it, where does it go from here? Is she going to try to get her channel removed? I kind of don't really see that happening. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I just kind of feel like they say Cardi didn't want to sue her to begin with. So I would think that she would have a bit of a heart and be like, nah, just pay me my money because you're going to need that channel to pay me. Like, I don't know. But it would be really messed up if she did get her channel shut down by sending this information over to YouTube and whatever else. So yeah, it's a messy situation, y'all. A lot of people are being dragged into the conversation. I believe they tried to bring up the incident between Cardi and Nicki. They tried to bring up the incident between the bar fight or whatever that happened. I think even Lovely T's name got mentioned for absolutely no reason, because it served no purpose at all. So it's been, girl, listen, I'm over here in Atlanta and wish that I would have got a chance to go and sit down in the courtroom so I could see what's really going on out here in these streets. Okay?
Wait, no. Did you hear the part about Lovely T today?
Yes, when she was on the phone with Tasha,
Yes.
like, we as Black women, kind of like coercing her to go along with what she was saying.
Right. And they said that
What
T
was
was
it?
crying, and that made, I ain't gonna lie, yeah, that low key made me mad. I'm not gonna lie. I
Yeah,
love
explain
T.
it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Lovely T and Tasha K were really, really close back in the
Mm-hmm.
day. But this whole Star Marie situation and then another situation with another blogger caused a rift, right? So initially when this shit happened, a lot of us kind of felt the need to choose a side a little bit, like if you were paying attention. And I was already kind of cool with Lovely T because I had met her in person. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I know how she rolls. She has integrity. She's not going to put out just any old bullshit. And she did a video explaining what happened with Tasha and how Tasha wanted to put out this interview with Star Marie when they all knew that Star Marie was lying about the shit she was saying about Cardi. And I knew that there was no way she could prove the shit she was saying about Cardi. So that was the main reason I would have never done it, because you can't prove any of this. And we would have to prove it in order to be able to be protected once we get up here online and say the shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But once again, coming from a place of already working in journalism, so having this understanding, I think that y'all think that it's so easy to understand, but there are a lot of people that live in internet land that think they can really get on the internet and say anything and get away with it, because when they in the comments, they can. So, you know what I mean? It's a different situation, but like, Lovely T, has always been like just such an incredible person. Like, she one of them people I don't let y'all talk bad about, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially not to me, like, don't ever. She's the reason why the website is happening, to be very honest. Yeah, like T, like when I lost my channel, T sat on the phone with me for like an hour and basically just broke it down to me and told me, what I needed to do moving forward. And I kind of had the thought in my mind, but it wasn't until she said it to me that it made me feel like, okay, you need to really start pushing paid content. And when I started pushing paid content and y'all started showing up for me, I was like, damn, the website thing could really work. So that's really how all of this started in the first place. And this is the best way to protect yourself, is to not be, just on one platform, but have your own. So always shout out to T. Y'all don't know, because like, T be in the background. So we don't really, talking about how we fuck with people all the time to everybody. But like, since she came up and I heard that my friend was crying, I ain't gonna lie. When I was listening to that portion of them, talking about that, I got upset. I really, really did. But yet again, that's their situation. That's they, whole ordeal. And I just want everybody to come out of the situation being okay at the end of the day. I know Cardi gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? But as a YouTuber, you don't want somebody's channel to get snatched down if it can be remedied in another way. Because for every time that happens to one of us, we feel it like it could happen to us.
Absolutely.
So y'all talking about snatch her channel? No, like none of us really feel like that. Sorry.
Absolutely. I'll be honest, I have absolutely no dog in this fight. I would, hate for that to happen. Some part of me is thinking though, in all honesty, it's like, but at what point when a person sends you cease and desist, like at what point do you cut it out? So at this point, you kind of like in a hand grip for them to do what they want, especially if they win this case. It's like, how bad should you really feel? Like, I don't know. Like, I won't want that, let's be honest. But logically, I'm thinking like, but this could have been all prevented. It also was rumored that the judge even tried to tell her, you shouldn't even take this to trial. Speaking of Tasha, like you should, settle this case, outside of court. And then here we are. There a lot of people have been reporting now, and it's one lady on YouTube that I love, and I just found her. Somebody sent her to me. Her name is Emily D. Baker. She's an attorney, and she literally goes through like the trial notes and reads it. So it's really unbiased. But what's interesting is that her thoughts are similar to a lot of the other people that I've listened to. And some of the people just don't like Tasha in general, you know what I'm saying? So of course they're gonna say, oh, she losing. But when I listen to this woman that breaks it down and how things are supposed to go, I'm like, okay, this right here is like really unbiased. So hearing her speak on that is I really like how she does her stuff. That's good. But when I listened to Emily D. Baker, she kind of talked about like the attorneys, not doing that great of a job. And I did see where there was a story that Armand dropped that I am going to read to you guys. It was a review that they're alleging that Tasha wrote about her attorneys like back in June of 2020. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. And it's just interesting. And I'm not surprised. It has Tasha's name next to it. We don't know for sure if it was indeed her, but Tasha, what it looks like, she wrote this review about her attorneys back in June, which could be accurate because y'all know she ended up losing that $3 million lawsuit she had against the countersuit against Cardi. So I don't know if this was around the time that she wrote this because she was disappointed. But what we do know is she ended up hiring yet another attorney to come on and be a part of this case with her. But this is what she's saying. She says, I will not use this attorney again. Very disappointed with this attorney. I hired her to represent me in a defamation case, but I will have to seek another attorney. Olga has on several occasions shown up to court unprepared and unfamiliar with the facts of the case. She advised me to file a countersuit, which I did, but it is clear now it's clear now that was not the best move. After advising me to countersue, she then doubled back and dropped several counts in the countersuit. So why did she advise me to file it in the first place? At the last hearing, she was stuttering and tripping. I'm sorry, y'all. She was stuttering and tripping over her words, and it was embarrassing. I'm trying to get through this, but I'm thinking about somebody else. So anywho, an attorney is supposed to exude confidence in their client, facts. But it's like she is not fighting to win the case. She's just going through the motions and showing up to court. After paying her thousands of dollars over the 3 years this case has been dragging on, I'm no better off. She goes on to say, I'm counting my losses and moving on. I will not be using this attorney again. That is absolutely terrible. I just feel like that's unfair to her. I feel like at this point, you really just kind of like, taking this woman's money. If this is indeed, factual and this was written from, written by Tasha, like that's crazy to me because y'all, even the judge has said that the lawyers seem to be incompetent and may need to go back to their first year of school. And I've also been hearing that her attorney really focuses primarily on like criminal law versus civil. So it's just a messed up situation. And I do hate that for her because it does seem like she's not getting like a fair shake, if that makes sense, because they don't know how to really handle this particular case. But yeah, I just wanted to come to you guys, and I know a lot of people was gonna ask, if we was gonna touch on it, because y'all be feeling away when YouTubers don't talk about stuff. But understand, we ain't about to be talking about no YouTube drama, honey. Understand that this is because it's attached to Miss Cardi B that we are actually speaking on it.
The only reason.
Period.
The only reason.
Gave y'all a pass when we first, when the stuff went down with the other panel or whatever they had going on. So we did that, girl. But don't get used to it.
Don't think we're gonna be in a mess. Don't think we're gonna be in a mess because we're not in the mess. We don't want to be in the mess. Keep us out the mess.
No, stay. It's above me or below me.
Come on, it's
above, whatever.
We appreciate you guys so much for joining us tonight. Okay, don't forget that we are missing our 4th member. That happens to be Miss J. Lee. She is out getting well, so send her some love, honey. And while you're at it,
Yes.
go ahead and follow us over on all social media platforms. We also have a Twitter page now at Ooh Ladies First. So also go over to our Twitter page, follow us there, as well as Instagram. And if you have any advice, any questions, or anything you need advice for, hit us up in the email. Okay. Also follow all of the ladies is our name at whatever you see here, Miss Bondy, J. Lee, Jamie, and Necey. Okay, feel free to follow us on all social media platforms. We appreciate you guys. And while you're at it, we're just going to play this as the video ends. You guys go ahead and hit that